Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back, and I thank you all for taking the time to come listen to this dialogue. I want it to be a dialogue. I want you guys to send in questions based on the topic politics, the economy, and the future of Sierra Leone. Those are very crucial areas that we need to educate one another. Now, I want to start off by apologizing to those who had problems with my sunglasses last week. It's because I had on my contact lens and the lights of the studio were reflecting on the lens, so it was disturbing my view. I had to put on sunglasses to create some little of shade between myself and the lights. But today I don't have my contacts on, so I'm putting on my regular glasses. I am back. My name is Jesmed Suma. I am the executive director of a political action committee called JPAC. JPAC means Jesmed Suma Political Action Committee. Now, what is this JPAC? It's a politically active organization, but it is non-partisan, meaning that it does not belong to any political party. Our main focus is to work towards designing policy ideas and also to help educate our people about the right choices to make with respect to the leadership of our country. In the following years to come, we'll be considering the idea of sponsoring candidates of different political parties that will sign up to our policy ideas that we want them to push in Parliament. It's going to be a pressure group. So in other words, if there is a Mr. Vandi in SLPP party who will sign up to our progressive principles and is prepared to join our committee that is going to review all the bills that are presented to Parliament, we will endeavor to sponsor their candidacy so that when they go to Parliament, they only vote for those bills that we think is good for the interest of the people. So there's a lot more that we're going to be doing in years to come. We just started this organization and less than a month or two ago. So it's still in its embryonic stage. But today our topic is going to be centered around the politics of the day, the challenges we are facing. There are so many options. We need to delve into them. There are so many candidates, some very much unfit, others questionable, and we want to examine each one of the candidates to determine which one we think is best for the interest of our people. And for each one that we discard, we have to have a reason for discarding them. And for each one we accept, we have to have reason for accepting them. The single primary determining criteria is the interest of the country at large. The next thing we want to also look into is the economy of our country. We see how deplorable it is. We want to know what the next government needs to do from our point of view as a policy think tank to get the right policies in place so that we can fix the problems created by APC and SLPP. And those two, the politics and the economy, is going to define the future of our country. So that's why we have politics, economy, and the future of our country. But as I always say, because of the abysmal state of our educational system in Sierra Leone, over 65 to 70% of our people cannot read and write or understand English or be able to communicate fluently in English. On account of that, I will have to continue the discussion in our normal lingual, the common lingual, which is Creole, so that we can reach out to those in the villages also, or anybody else from that level that may have access to Facebook that is probably watching us now. They deserve to know so that we know what needs to be done to help them up so that we can be at par, if not better than other African countries like Ghana, Nigeria, and so on. So without much ado, I'm going to continue in Creole. My family, my brother and sister, they want telling all thank you. Me na Jesmed Suma. Me na the executive director of a policy think tank we call the Jesmed Suma Political Action Committee, JPAC. This discussion today will center around the politics of our country today, the economy of our country today, and what we need for do within today for us to get a better future. The first question where somebody don't ask, where they say I address, it got to do with the value of our currency. 10 million in our Salone, even before we get independence, the value of we leons be equivalent to the value of the pound sterling. Then I think have been 2 leons to 1 pound. That is how valuable we currency been be. Till it come to the 70s, where we own money, it been value past the dollar. When 70 cents, Salone 70 cents. Now they take for buy $1. So in other words, if somebody in America, they want buy we own 1 leon, we the America go for pay $1.30 for get 1 leon. That is how powerful the leons been be. Then day. Now in pap APC kind of power. As APC kind of power, so now any money in value begin go down. They begin go down. It begin go down. It go down till it continue from five leons to $1, 100 leons to $1, till go to then thousands of leons to $1. Now almost now 3,500 to $1. Partijan Kaba under the SLPP party managed for hold the currency down till it not rise too much because it been get people away they manage the economy better. Pap now next Kurma come under APC again. Now anything begin shoot up. They begin shoot up. Now we currency in 7,500 leons. Hey, remember 10 been the way not to be. You know be reach $1, 1 leon self. 1 leon to $1, you know, be rich. Now 70 cents, now we they spend for buy $1. Now from 1 to 7,500 leons. Now waiting cause all that. A lot of factors and they will cause that, but the paramount of which is the mismanagement of our economy. What do they mean? Then fiti fata we economy. For let una understand better, I will give una first the general preamble about how the economy they operate and how they affect the currency. They are going to take them into mommy, papa, family, how they run the finances now so they can understand better. Whenever country they, if you know they produce the thing that we need for use, the rest way they eat, if you know they produce them, enough of them. The clothes the way they wear, if you know they produce enough of them. The motorcar the way they drive, if you know they produce enough of them and they. It means you get for import them from abroad. For import them from abroad, they know they use we only own, so they don't want we leons fail. If you want import from America, you want import from China, you want import from Europe, you want import from any part of the world, the most common currency where they use them and they we still in the use now the dollars. But now they don't get other currencies that we're in the use. When the pound sterling, euro, and China self they try for promote their own currency so it will become a standard currency just like the dollar for letting the medium of exchange. So which means when we dey import goods and services into Salone, we go need for buy dollars for how we go do that. Now, for buy the dollar, if the dollar waiting at Salone not plenty, then more people and they will go look for one for buy dollar because more people want for import goods and services. So the more people where they try for buy dollar, the higher the price of the dollar they be. But the question is, how do we they get dollar na Salone? How Salone man they get dollar? How the country they get dollar? Let's examine that part of first. The country they get dollar several ways. One, the gold, diamond, bauxite, and iron ore, and then other mineral resources they export. Wherein they pay we. The taxes, wherein they pay we. The returns for them export, then they, in some cases, dollars and they pay. The second way they get dollars, now we the Sierra Leoneans, the way they abroad, the money they send to family them. We will send them through Western Union or through the bank. They want that money they reach. Then they change them to leons, then give family the dollar they stay in the country. The third way we will get dollars. Now when Sierra Leoneans then travel, then go abroad, then go work, then pay them. So until then pay them in dollars. Or Salone get some business where they do, he run services, then pay them, he carry the money, he change them into leons. The dollars they stay. The next way, now when we go trust money na World Bank, IMF, and the other side and they. Now, if the amount of dollar or foreign currency we get is not enough for satisfy the number of people the way they can demand for dollar and currency for import, it means say the price for that small foreign currency they will get, that dollar they will get for sale, where the government get for sale, either the government through the banks, the commercial bank them, and then Forex Bureau them, then get for sale, the price for the dollar or the foreign currency they go up. Like give you an example. Like I say, I get Forex Bureau na Second Stephen Street. I get $10,000 what they sell to the one that want for can buy dollar. Now morning, I set my price at $7,000 per dollar. Before I maga $1,000 done. Before I maga another $1,000 done. So the next person they come, I go say, okay, wait first, but like increase the dollar small to 7,200. Then they can and finish that one day. Before they maga another set of people. And so the more people they demand for dollars, the more the price of the dollar they increase. The more people they demand for import certain things them abroad, the more the price of the dollar they increase. The more the value of your own currency they reduce. So the question is, how the government can inside this one now? Why would they blame government for that? Well, would they blame government because the fact say we know they produce enough. Now, because of the way the government mismanage the economy, make we know they produce enough. I can give you an example. Rice now the most staple food we would eat na Salone on a daily basis. God don't give you land, He don't give you all kind of things. But when government ready, then they buy over $150 million worth of imported rice. Rest then they farm na China and the other side and they. Now when government they buy for supply the army, supply the police, supply the prison, supply the other government agencies. $100 to $150 million instead of he spend that kind of money there for bill with farmers and so we go produce. So which means the demand for rice they increase and the value of the currency of Williams they drop because the demand for the dollar, or the need for buy the rest, they increase. That's not just one example. Another example, we're able to produce palm oil, we're able to produce granite oil, we're able to produce coconut oil, but today we import oil in Salone. So the demand for the foreign currency, they increase. Until we get a government where they realize, say, God don't give we all kind of things where we need for that we able for investing in people that will produce, so we reduce the amount of importation. Now with dollar value, now with currency value, they begin for increase. Now the second way we make currency they reduce, in value they reduce. Now when we get a government where they spend past how much money or revenue then they collect, I can give you an example. The companies that way they operate in the country, they're supposed to pay tax. The people that way they work, then they pay income tax. But if the economy is so bad off, company are not ready for let them create jobs, let them employ people them, that means people they will not go able to get a job. And if you not get a job, you not go pay income tax. Because you only pay income tax where you make revenue. And if you not pay income tax, government no they get money. The second one, them multinational corporations, the way they can operate in Salone. Particularly the mining industry, the mining industry, construction industry, and other companies. Government supposed to collect tax from them so that government go get money for running itself. But waiting with politicians and they do, based on the research what we don't do, when the company here come, then they make deal with the company. Like London Mining, for instance. Instead of them pay the actual tax where they're supposed to pay, like then 30% like other countries they do, then they make deal with them, say, okay, will they make win a government? Me na the Minister of Mines. I go talk to the Minister of Finance. And I go talk to the president. As long as you agree, say every year they give you $1 million, $2 million now with private account, instead of you pay 30%, we go make you pay 10%. In fact, London Mining and Brian can take 4%. So what do they mean? For every $10 million profit what the company make, instead of you pay the government $3 million, like how other country they do, because corrupt politicians don't make deal with the company they pay like them $400,000. Then that balance they then take like 1 million, then give the government or the corrupt president them or the minister and put under their pocket. So consistently, the kind people who don't get no power, and then kind deal and then they make all the time, we make them they get money fiti fata. Then they spend fiti fata. We push camp and shop, then say money not there for run government, for pay teachers, for pay healthcare personnel them. Then put GST tax for mami them back. Then make it two man them. You want to go buy electricity, then bam, GST tax. We all in tax, then they not do. Then go to IMF. They say, IMF, they can't trust we money, no. World Bank, when I can't trust we money, no. Well, IMF go say, well, brah, if you allow trust you money, we see say he spend money like a drunken sailor, like fisherman, where they pap, they net. We see say he spend money fiti fata. If we allow trust you, we get conditions the way you need for it. Now then call IMF conditionalities. So the government go say now, the corrupt politician go say now, well, we know say then condition I go make people and suffer, but we need the money for all to spend and pay ourselves. Apart from the corruption, where they don't corrupt or don't eat up the money, then they go back and go take loan, then hiban our people and hit bam. So when the debt ratio, in other words, the amount of money where we owe the international community increase, the value of our money they drop. Which means we ability for them to pay back with debt then will be questionable. So you see how the currency they drop. Now, the question is, waiting the next government need for do for them to fix that problem there. Well, for fix the problem need for start with getting the right leadership. If we make mistake this March 7, 2018, the make mistake, we not choose the right leader, we go secure a better future for the next generation. Sierra Leone is finished. I tell you now for free. The facts are clear. If APC and SLPP, then two parties then they, we don't run the country for the past 56 to 57 years. And for 56 to 57 years, now all failures and poverty and misery, death, now people in they go through. Then two parties then they. We cannot afford for getting to power March 7, 2018. I can understand if you're not SLPP person or you're not APC person, your great grandpa na be APC and SLPP, your great granny na be APC and SLPP, your grandpa, your granny na be APC SLPP, your mama na be APC SLPP, daddy na be APC SLPP. But you get to understand, say, the same way where your papa and grandpa and father APC SLPP where then die poor. Where APC SLPP lie pa your great grandpa he die poor, he lie pa your grandpa he die poor, he lie pa your granny he die poor, he lie pa your daddy and mama then die poor. If you follow the same APC and SLPP, now that same way they say go die poor. Simple and straightforward. For 56 years, and they repeat the same thing no more, and you expect say it will be different. I'm sorry, it will not. So rule number one, now for rule out APC, rule out SLPP from the list of people the way they vie for the leadership of the country. Then you know other options and where they. You get the Samsumanas of this world. You get the Kamarimbas of this world. You get the Kande Yumukelas of this world. Unfortunately, the party where me bin go register, where me start from scratch 1 to Z, spend thousands of dollars and get other people and for join me. The NPD party will not get a flag bearer. Because we know say, for put up a flag bearer, you not go win. It's a fact. For run election today, any party for let you go win today in a Salone, based on the statistical we don't do, you need to get at least 10 to 11 to 12 million dollars. That's how expensive it is. Another kind of money the APC get. The other one then they not get that kind of money they. Some of them not get that kind of money they, but the movement, the determination for get APC out is so high that they're ready for do any kind of thing with or without money for kick APC out. And that determination they, it go power and power, it go overpower the money where APC they throw away. Because the whole team APC they throw away right now, now the thief money where they go thief from people them, now the bank, now the central bank, and then you keep money, they can delay what they tell you so for their mining company, then you don't get that for the past 10 years. And then they go to way back for let them go elect themselves. But God don't ready this trip. Say it redeem Salone. But for let God redeem Salone, I mean you get for stand. So we own policy think tank, the Political Action Committee, JPAC. We don't examine all the candidates them. We don't decide, say, Dr. Kande Kole Yomukela. Now get the right progressive principles, the progressive values, where we think to say good for Salone in future. We don't examine the type of policy ideas then we Then they plan for implementing a Salone. People like we don't talk to them. Personally, representative for JPAC don't meet them. Personally, we don't discuss with them. So we don't know exactly the kind of thing that we plan for education, the kind of thing that we plan for healthcare, the kind of thing that we plan for energy. We don't compare them to the kind of policy ideas and what we put together and we realize, say, yes, he's the only option we have today. So, among all the candidates that we team up for run, if you want for save Salone, you have only one option. If you want for save Salone, then you only have one option. And that is Dr. Kande Yumkela. If you want for go back to the past, then you have any of the others. And the question is why I say others. Because if APC and SLPP not get other party, then they know so, apart from Dr. Kande Yumkela know so. Well, the fact is, the other party then, none of them not get the type of leadership where we don't examine, where we feel to say, come closer to that of Dr. Kande Yumkela. That's now point number one. And two, none of the party them not get the caliber of momentum, the caliber of people or the momentum when necessary for beat APC and SLPP machinery. No other party not get that kind of machinery right now than the Dr. Kande Yumkela. No other candidate now the race right now we get that momentum, we get the opportunity for that we change APC and SLPP past Dr. Kande Yumkela. So me appeal to every Salonian. If you not pursue the one plan for vote for ADP, I dey plead with you, not waste time. Not waste your vote. Do you vote for Dr. Kande Yumkela? If you plan for vote for any other group, I don't want to begin name them specifically. Do you not waste your vote? Because when the other party then they try for scramble, forget 5%, 2%, 3%, APC they clock then 20 something, SLPP they clock then 20 something, NGC they clock then 20 something. The rest now they share them 5%, 2%, 3%. Now if you say you dey against APC, you dey against SLPP, instead of you go waste your vote to any other party, we no go ever, at least this election, not say the future next one, but this election we not demonstrate not here to go show say then go able for not even 10%. Why waste that vote today? You not put them behind the candidate where you don't come closer to kicking APC and SLPP out. So my best appeal what they tell my brother and sister them. If you allow fix that with currency, we talk about. We first start with the leadership first. Now, when we start with the leadership, we don't cast we vote for Dr. Kande Yumkela as the potential president of our country. Man, we don't promise he go take progressive values them for brand calm, market-based progressive values. We go able for transform our country so that we go get investors then. We go able for solve the problem of energy, solve the problem of healthcare, solve the problem of job creation. Then, now the first step that one day for fix the problem of our currency. Fix the leadership, and then you go to the next step. The question is, what is the next step? So many areas. Now they come to the question we one with sister be asked earlier. What not been the question again? He say something relating to addressing the needs of the people. It touch on food security. It touch on healthcare. It touch on energy. And then 13 and they mention education 4. And then 14 and they mention. So now then 14 and they want to start with well analyze, waiting the next government, the plan for do, and based on the kind of discussion and understanding me get from Dr. Kande Yumkela no say he want for can transform we country. Let's start with food security, very crucial. Because for let we get a Munku government where they spend $100 to $150 million every year. For import on imported rice for feed the army, the police, and the prison. Me not see how whose kind of stupidity passed that one day again. $1 million. Now 7,700,000,000 leones. No, 7,500,000,000 leones. $1 million. Now 7,100,000,000 leones. 500 million leones. $2 million. Now 15 billion leones. 15 billion leones. Now listen, $2 million. Now we own government. They spend $150 million for pay for imported rice. Sometimes most of the people who they import the rice and then are foreigner themselves. Past the one and now when they don't give them family and for go import the rice. And me know about rice importation. Under Sumato International will be the import rice. For every 12,500 metric ton we bring can at the country. After you don't pay CIF, waiting at cost, insurance and freight. You don't pay storage and other thing them. You buy the bate, you do get $500,000 profit. That is how profitable the importation of rice is. Now that make the no one left importation of rice. Because it's so profitable, it fill them pocket. Imagine if you do that, you do that, you bring 1 shipment, 2 shipment, 3 shipment, 4 shipment a year. That are almost $2 million you get as profit. One man. For put an end to that one day. You need a president who is not greedy. You need a president who seek the interests of the people. Them. So waiting, Dr. Kane Yumkela the plan for do. Now for begin for find a way for invest that kind of money there directly into the farmers. For begin for make sure say if we want for supply the army, want for supply the police, want for supply the prisons, instead of you buy Chinese rice, you provide enough resources, technical, financial, and administrative support for we farmers them from Bont to Mambolo, Kambia district, the Falaba district, Moyamba district, then side they will say Boli land and they will get enough soil and for growing enough food. Pump millions of dollars upon them. So within 1 to 2 years to 3 years, we'll be able to produce we own rice. We're not going to need for import. The value of our currency they increase. We don't get need for dollar for import rice anymore. We people will get enough rice. So instead of rice go 200,000 leones like I did to now, 200 and something thousand leones like I did to now Salone, you go begin go down to 150, 100. Sometimes less than 100,000 leones. When we own homegrown food. And in fact, let's tell you another important thing about we own food. Now, abroad, with man country, then call we own country rice, then call an organic rice. That means rice we not get plenty chemical on them. When the God in your own soil and make it go, they not put chemical for let go sweet or whatever. Now the one then ain't good for your body. When they eat them, they make it nourish. They make it you win them like how when they can't rest the way they come out na wait man country. Because we country will rest the way they come on a wait man country now so chemical and pack inside it. Now then Chinese and don't begin make plastic. Then they take plastic, the ordinary plastic where they put bread pan. Then they take and they make them into reseed. Then mix them with the rest. Then put them inside bag. Then send and give Salone for go sell. Send them in Africa for go sell. For stop that one day, we need a leader who understand the value of agriculture. And the man will get where we own political action committee don't identify as the most fitted candidate for this election at Dr. Kane Yumkela. We not only study agriculture, but you don't do an environment where they do research in the field of agriculture and other universities them around the world, especially US. You get universities like Cornell University, when Ivy League universities and powerful university. If you not get brain, they can't hear themselves. Let alone for let become a lecturer and run university and they. Dr. Kane Yumkela don't do research inside and they don't work for, they don't teach with man them. So you understand agriculture. The next one in addition to rice, you got other agricultural products them. Like with Famule where they Calown, where they grow cocoa, coffee, then Kenima area, Kono area. 50 years ago, then pardon they una young great grandparents not been care about politics. They not been care about politics because they get them cocoa coffee plantation where they tell rich, then go harvest and then sell and then make money, then feed una great una papa them. Because una grandpa them been proud of themselves. Una where they Kailaun, where they Kono, where they Kenima, where they Pujaun, bunt, then side and day, where they grow then cash crop. Una great grandpa they not been the falla politician like tail. Who stand in tongue jelly to politician them? If then you the kind where una they join jump for them lie politician and then grab them spirit self no go happy for una. Because now out of pride, then pardon they grow up. Then tell the railway been there where Sheka Steven don't mess up. Then they pack them cocoa and coffee from Kailaun, Pendembu, pop na Freetown port. They export and the money can and put in their pocket. What politician can and themselves politician they can big. They're not a big politician. But APC don't ruin all that one day then destroy the railway, destroy that in them. They don't make now then great campaign and they don't pick in the all on town bigger. Jump behind them like politician them. Now the 10 down reach for law will redeem we country. So waiting Dr. Kane Yomukela the plan for the area of agriculture in the area of cash crop. I don't talk about food crop when I like rest for instance. It make sure say we people in at the east and the south then side and they then go examine and farm plantation and back and find a way for invest enough money into them and link the farmers cooperative, then they form the farmers them into cooperatives. Link the farmers cooperative, get government technical support, get government managerial support, get government financial support, and get people away who can teach with farmers them how to grow the cocoa and coffee like how the European community want them. Because they get specification na the European market. They get specification na the North American market. For let them buy your product, they need for no say you don't plant and some kind way, you harvest and some kind way, you manage and some kind way, it defines a certain quality. As man we understand about agriculture, then they set up a center where they do research on anything and they go to the farmers then and then cash crop farmers them for help them so that no yuki middleman no go there. From una farmland directly abroad, the dollar they can straight to una villages. Una turn bigger man them. Do ya Lord put an end to this bad leadership what only happened for past 56, 57 years. Now the moment this March 7, 2018, we get the best opportunity for Lord redeem we country. Now let's talk to them with brother and sister the way they grow cocoa and coffee. I say where they grow cassava, for instance, for make gari. Today, for instance, inside America alone, the amount of gari where they come out Ghana, where they come out Nigeria, where they eat in America, where they eat in Europe, now hundreds of millions of dollars. Most of that money they go to Ghana and Nigeria. Now very few gari they come out Salone Canada inside and they. Why? Because we not get a government where they provide the technical support so we will be able to produce at a certain quality. We're able for brand we own products them. We're able for monitor them. We're able for link up with the agencies the way they approve the importation of food in their own country like FDA. Inside America, they get an agency called the Food and Drug Administration. Before you import food from abroad, inside America, then get for make sure say then certify and then say the Saudi and producer not to poison the camp for the American people them. The same na Europe. Because we get Munku government, they don't know how to set up them thing and they for help with farmers them so that they go able to access the market. Dr. Kande Yomukela go set up an agency where they help, like so if somebody say, oh, me I get money, I want to go do cassava plantation. You go do cassava plantation, but I want for export me cocoa and coffee. How I go able to get approval? So that America go appreciate we own product and go able for accept and our market at the market. Agency go inside the Ministry of Agriculture. where they work with the FDA, they work with the European Union for letting go able for certify Sierra Leone food, so that you go able for get enough cassava they grow, you process them, you turn on fufu, you turn on starch, you turn on gari, you export them, so that we go feed ourselves and get more dollars. What do they mean? The value of our currency they go up, because we don't need plenty, we don't need for buy dollar anymore. We get export, who they export, who they produce for export, who they get the dollar by that. We don't use loans for buy the dollar. As long as we export for bring the dollar come, we don't valued money they strong. Now, in addition to that, you get other crops them where we can add value to. According to waiting Dr. Kane Yomukela the plan, we get coconut, for instance. We can make coconut oil out of them. We can make coconut milk out of them. We get granite. We can make peanut butter. We then call them in the Robinson breed. In America, plenty. All them picking most of the schools them. They get picking the way they go school and they put granite. Then the rubber and then bread. Then put on pap. Then put away them and give them tea for drink or chocolate. A lot of money. A lot of money. Gambia win a Gambia. They not get diamond. They not get gold. They not get bauxite. They not get iron ore. Now granite are the main product in the export. And then they make a lot of money out of them. Well, they will mami the way they grow granite. We know say all the 10 are whole, now they use whole, now they use, now they butuna back. We are not able for grow plenty. Well, under Dr. Kane Yomukela in government, then they bring support where when they get a small machine them. I think I see one of the machine then the other time na Home Depot. One store where they sell in America. The machine now reach $500 safe. Where they till the land, you hold on, so you put your small petrol inside. You go and drag them. Woman self can hold and drag them. Because the soil for grow granite, you don't need for dig and too much. You go and drag and you clear the soil, you turn them. Dr. Kane Yomukela in government, they make sure say granite plantation is broad. You able for expand them. They want the one for grow coconut, then go able for make sure say there is energy within the country, so that with that energy there, now they factory they follow. With that factory there, now they job they create. So that we go able for convert with coconut to coconut milk, coconut oil, granite to granite butter, granite oil, and get the farmers themselves for get money then enrich themselves. They're able for export and they get some more money. Now the other problem we also observe about agriculture, if somebody want go do plantation right now, you get money, you get a lot of money, you want go do plantation, you want go open a plantation, you get a challenge of accessing the land. Under Dr. Kane Yomukela, then we'll get a system for do the reform of the land ownership, so that people who want for invest, Sierra Leoneans the normal. If you're not a foreigner, now a different package you will give you. But if you're not a Sierra Leonean, you go able to get full ownership of the land, any part of the country. We don't care whether in a Creole or Limba or Kranko. If you want to go do plantation any part of the country, as long as the chiefdom authorities don't allow you, the government will make you fully own their land and they go able for ground. If not a foreign investor, it's a different package. The next one we go get a challenge with. Now forget this nursing. Like you want to go plant coconut, you need the coconut hate them. You want to go plant coffee and cacao, you need the nursing, they hate them. You want to go plant other type of agricultural products them. Well, they plan for opening what they call the government nursing farm plantation. Where then are the young products them. So if somebody want for go grow plantation, like so you do England, you know, Salone, you say, well, I get this 100,000 pounds or 50,000 pounds. I want to go invest in my country. I want to go into agriculture. All you need for go to the Ministry of Agriculture under Dr. Kane Yomukela. Then they guide you exactly what you for do, the kind of thing that we need. Then go guide you as to how for go get the nursery. Then go help you in terms of how to get the land. Then go provide assistance for you. Then go able to get people that we don't study agriculture and Jala. Then link them up with you and support you so that you go able to establish a plantation. Right now, that not they happen. Now, only when you get a leadership like Dr. Kane Yomukela, you go able to get that kind of opportunity there. So we don't address the area of agriculture and food security based on waiting that question they've been pointed. The next one is energy, healthcare, and education. Well, for una, we don't follow Dr. Kande Yumukela in development around the world, particularly in the United Nations. When I know say Dr. Kande Yumukela, they know him for a lot of things as a development expert. As an expert where they look at an economy, able to identify the areas they have for develop them. He don't lead an entire agency in the United Nations, we don't call UNIDO. United Nations Industrial Development Organization for develop industries across the world. Now, he's the first black man na sub-Saharan Africa we occupy that position there. Plenty people don't try him before him. Like Nigeria, one Dr. Adedeji, we don't try him, they're not able. Other people they don't try, they're not able. Where Dr. Kane Yomukela present himself. And Nigeria then first jump for support him. Salone jump for support him. Guinea support him. Ivory Coast support him. The other country in Africa then say, hey, this guy alone always stand with him. Let's go represent Africa. Then get in the position. You run UNIDO. After in time done, after the first 5 years, then say, pa, no go, want you back. Because the kind of marvelous transformation we don't do in this organization. So, now that kind of leadership they will need. Then get another 5 years. Where it done, now in the UN say, pa, the 10-year term, the 2 term done. But we still not want to let you go. So we create another agency when are they based on energy. Because we want to let the poor people and get access to energy. We want to let you lead that one day back. Then give promotion for going under Secretary General of the United Nations. That after the Secretary General, now one of the people who they consider next of the United Nations. A top position now one day. So when you talk about energy, you can't get no better person for represent we as a country for able for bring about energy solution as alone than Dr. Kande Yomukela. You get residential energy, when are for people and for use in a home. You get industrial energy, when are for them factory them for use. The man understand the ins and outs of how to bring energy in a salon. From the cities to the villages. Right now, the entire country, now very few places they no more get electricity. Very few. You don't reach 10-15% of the energy grid, not reach 10-15% of the population. Majority, go to them village them. So blackout. For 57 years. 57 years, we don't get APs and SLPP. They try now to bring energy Canada alone. Under this government, the past 10 years, they don't spend over $1 billion. Over $1 billion. Actually, $1.5 billion. They don't spend them in the name of energy. Now God want grace Sabusa all that money they go. Because we not see the energy. You go Kailaun light no day. You go Bont light no day. You go Kabbalah light no day. You go Tonkolili light no day. Ebo, you go Kono, na half light they see day. You go other side and half Ebo, who's can country this bar? When I feel saying that we God no like. Na lie, God like we. He like we pass the way like plenty country themselves around the world. Because the can't think the way God don't give we. Plenty country in the pray God let them get them. Now we not like we self. And this moment now we prove to God say yes, we like we self. The moment you prove to God say we like we self, it will bring blessing come for we. And when you like yourself, it will look for the right leadership. You will forget whether the person are you tribe man or not. You will forget whether the person may not vote yesterday or not. Because at the say some man say, in fact, I address 2 questions where people can intend for say, Oh well, me no go vote for him because no one day votes in Salone. What's kind of a ridiculous question now one day? How somebody go say I know they vote for you because you know one day vote in Salone? Let me ask you something, ba. If you sit down, you picking the starve, you want for eat, kwashi or cordon ketchum. This person say, he don't show you gari and bread and cold water. Sometimes that water say if you not clean for 56 years. Then somebody say this na me go make you go able get fish, you go able get butter, you go able get way name, you go able get rice, you go able way name. That kwashi or where you picking the pan so. This na the solution. The one way don't follow for 56 years. If you vote for the same kwashi or they get. This one they show you example how for free you picking and free yourself. You go question whether that person they don't vote na Salone before or not. Now that na the criteria. You picking they die. Education not there. Healthcare not there. But he said, but anybody ask that question, they just rule them off. That person say brain not rotting. Tell and say, there is something wrong with his screws and brain. You don't rotting. Fail. You not for argue with and lost left and suffer. Anybody say, I they left me survival one. I go vote for Halaki because this man not been ever vote in a Salone. There's something wrong with your brain. The next one then can say, well, the one that we don't you work in a UN, it not necessarily means say because you don't work in a UN, you qualify for be president. What? Well, I explained to you what in a leadership to some extent. You know, for instance, let's touch on first the area of leadership with respect to the UN. You get certain role in the United Nations when a pure administrative role, where you no need for think, for create new avenues for deliver services. You no need for do that. You can just, when they bring documents you sign, then go meeting, you vote. That number they do for entire year. You get a category of people and they will work at the UN. There is a difference with the kind of a leadership where Dr. Kane Yumukola provides at the UN. The role where Dr. Kane Yumukola provides at the UN, this way they can call me so you know Sadina on Facebook. You know, the guy called me on Facebook, he sees Sadina on Facebook. You know, the kind of leadership where Dr. Kane Yumukola been run at the UN, it go far beyond administrative leadership. Hands-on service delivery, where you sit down, you think, you're able to create new avenues for invest social services in the lives of people. If you not get brain, you're not going to provide that kind of leadership there. So where they look for leaders, now people that will don't serve na environment, will then deliver result, not to talk. We get people that will get plenty, and they will get so many PhDs. But if you ask them what thing they don't do, how they don't transform lives out of that double PhD we then get, very few can point to anything. Dr. Kane Yumukola, he don't do a hands-on leadership where it is sit down, he get team of other leaders then way in the lead. He analyze issues. They ask and question, what you allow we do? These are other people that will get PhD. Then they depend on them. For let think for them, you're able to give them direction. You don't do that for 10 years in the UN. Not to forgo children no more, go meeting, I vote yes, I vote no, he sign paper. No! That's not the kind of role he played. A creative mind I been the tap. So if you look for a leader, now man we don't discipline in brain and in mind how for think and solve problems. And Salone will get tons of problems for solve today. We need person where they think. We get brains for think how to solve the problem. The next important value where we need in leadership. Now, person we trustworthy, person we reliable, and person we dependable. Trustworthy means man where they speak the truth, where they talk but say, "I they do this," and he say yes, he will do it. Reliability, where they rely on them, you just stake your future, you stake your picking and future, you stake the next generation on future in hand, and he able for step up, for do that. Man way is dependable. You tell and say, I dey cast me vote for you. Papa God guide me, la cast me vote for Dr. Kande Yumukela. Because this me girl pikin ya. Awale go school, na environment will better school day. You dey depend on Dr. Kande Yumukela for do that. Hey, me na market man. For 10 years, I didn't market no more. They sell no more 50 fata and then they see profit. This trip, I dey go cast me vote for Dr. Kande Yumukela. Because you depend on them. Let you go fix the economy so that you, the mommy, let you go get profit. Let you say go able for rise. So tomorrow, not to every morning, no more 5 o'clock, you don't grab for go begin take your market, you go, you come back, you check almost you don't, sometimes you don't even reach for bull chop money for that day. Sometimes you man you don't know you want walk, but more walk no day. You the mommy will go market, now you know more than depend on. Lord put an end to that suffering day. At the moment, this March 7, 2018, Lord free we country. Then mommy they don't suffer too much. Then parents don't suffer too much. Then youth they don't suffer too much. Then school picking they don't suffer too much. Then teachers they don't suffer too much. And then police they don't suffer too much. Then soldier man they don't disrespect them too much. We country too dirty. We doctors they not get support. Then they struggle. For be a doctor, the knowledge now one. The tools and the resources what you need for do your work now another one. And the reward where they get, so he said go take care of your family. Now the third one. Today we doctors and get the knowledge. We nurses then get the knowledge. Basic as it may be. But then still committed for let them go to hospitals and clinic and serve and deliver service. But they not get the tools. They not get the reward. We get nurses that we don't graduate in Salone today. We need to go volunteer in a hospital for months, sometimes 1 year, 2 years. They need to get one pay. Who's kind about? Me, I don't understand self. Who's can country this, brah? Something that can sit down and wonder who's kind human beings that will get as leaders. Where they sit down with wickedness and allow people in the suffer that kind of way they. The way they run inside $50,000-$70,000 motorcar. 1 gram motorcar, 60,000-70,000. Then she don't air condition a day. People in the suffer and treat, dust they go na the eye, na the nose. They feel comfortable with that. Small picking they went an orphan, then they sleep in the street and they die in the street. Ministers and they sleep inside $1 million houses. Then they go show off with them houses, then they bluff. The same people and not rip their money off, rip their economic blood. Then she don't know and say, you see me house in a high mat. Then they show him, papi show him how many room he get, how many swimming pool you get. They don't even get shame. They don't get conscience. March 7. March 7. God save the watch we. Because don't tire with Salone. God save the watch we for see. If this trip we will get sense. He will give you opportunity. God know they come out heaven candon. He will give sababu for let you free yourself. If God want let everybody turn Christian, now one moment he go do am. If one let everybody turn Muslims. Now one moment, it do am. But what he do is send opportunity. He say, let me send Christ down to my people. Let go educate them. Would I get sense you go follow them? He send Muhammad down. Let go educate them. Would I get sense you go follow them? Where God want give you independence, you not come on heaven candle. He give you the likes of Samilti Magai. He give you the likes of John Carifa Smart. He give you the likes of people that will be surround them and support them. For let them get the moral support and lead them for leading into independence. The March 7 what they can to is equivalent to the kind of freedom we will get now Independence Day. This March 7 is economic freedom. The March 7, the thief, the yuki, the corruption, who don't depend all this time. March 7, now the stand down there with the soul the seat say, will they put an end to that one day? And God don't give you the opportunity. And that opportunity is Dr. Kande Yomukela, where if we get more people and for think like us, some of who they think, they're able for put the country first above them tribe. Then put the country first above them party. Then put the country first above their own self-interest. We all go make the right decision March 7, 2018. Lord, transform this country. So once energy done there, the next aspect na industrial development. You will get factory now who go make oil. So you will plant coconut, you will get side for go sell them. You will plant banga, you will get side for go make sell them because they go make oil out of them. You will plant granite, you will get side for go make them because they go make oil out of them. You will plant cassava, you will get side for go make them because you get factory we go able for converter into gari, industrial level. As long as electricity there. Coat where they work so. We go able for make an salon, we export them. Shoes where they wear at an industrial level. We don't need for import all anything and they. Medicine. We get herbal medicine them. We can capitalize on organic food, organic medication, organic herbs. Process that one they able for export them. But it all starts with the leadership. And the man will go able for bring energy can alone. Within 5 to 10 years, where the entire 4 corners of the nation go get energy from village to village. Just like a Rollins do an Ghana. Where Rollins ready for him. They can make like I say, for solve Salone problem is so difficult that you get forget some kind of a supernatural power. If Rollins, when I'm in Soja Man, he able for deliver energy inside Ghana within a short period, how much more Salone? If we get the right leadership, we care for the country and care for the people. So March 7 is a decision-making point. So we don't address food security, we don't address energy. In terms of energy, the other areas, other options, and they will then go bring come. We get for do with alternative energy like solar panels. Let me tell you how the solar panel they work. Then go get a company where they bring the solar panels them, where the government they partner with. For residential energy, we know they consume too much. Whilst then they work on the industrial one way, very capital intensive. They take a long time. You get enough funding. You get forget at least $1 to $2 billion. Forget an entire nation electrify. So that they go take a long time. So I don't want to make false promises. But definitely within 5 years, the energy supply level will be double or twice what we get so. Or by 10 years, it will be as good as any other country in West Africa. But in terms of the residential, they go work with an energy company where they bring solar panels. So that they go examine yours, determine how much panel you need, the value of them. They're able to work out some modalities with the government, then put the solar panel, then you begin pay small. Just like how you pay electricity every day. But this time, you know, get blackouts as long as sun day up. When the sun comes, you hit the panel give energy. 1 month down, the same amount to you they pay, now you they pay throughout. You don't pay for the tunnel. That's if it take you 5 years or 10 years. Then they put small thing on top. The company go, they can service the panel for you every year for make sure say all things they work fine. Now only a leader will get brain. Now they think like that. Do you allow choose somebody who is able to fix the problems? Industrial one, other alternatives than they get energy sources from other countries then where they go able for pump into we. We get energy companies and way you go able for work with. Just like I don't do them under UNIDO, you go able bring them kind of knowledge than they. Then we talk on healthcare. Any more questions anyone need for address? Now, in terms of healthcare, while you look for the rest of the other questions, we see say where people are sick today. I don't mention that in the next last week. Then get 3 problems where they worry about. Problem number 1, then they worry about who's at the next clinic or hospital day. Because we not get enough clinic and hospital around the country, somebody will go there some village in Kabbalah. Sometimes go take another 10 to 15 miles for they reach the closest or the nearest hospital or clinic. Now, for them, they will be able to get access to hospital or clinic. The next problem you get for worry about, now whether you go able to afford the kind of money they ask for. If you're able to afford the money they ask for, the third thing we're able to think about, whether they get the necessary equipment them, the technical know-how, for them to go address your problem. I've been there Salone recently. We are sick. I've been so worried that I not go hospital. Because we don't get situations where some of you friend them. They Salone and sick, then go hospital and die. Fiti fata, it don't happen 3 or 4 times. The one in teeth no more heart. They go to dentist, the dentist go pull in teeth, now they die. So what I do? Now I take plane immediately. I fly to America. Well, that mommy na Kabbalah no get that opportunity there. That pa na Kaila no get that opportunity there. That young boy na Bont no get that opportunity there. Somebody na Kono no get that opportunity there. Cambia no get that opportunity there. So if we not get a leadership where they bring the hospital to Salone, plenty die way they happen, they continue for die. They happen. They want the way they control the government. When them picking sick, when them wife sick, when them sick, bam, they don't fly go. By Yegi then they Ghana, or then they India, or then they America, or then they England. Then get in mind. They don't rip una blood them, economic blood them. Stock them money, then they put on a foreign bank account. When they're sick, instead of them fix the hospital in the villages, then they fly out. Until we change them, March 7, 2018. Now that same nonsense, they could continue. So, how to address that? For fixed red healthcare, a very difficult thing. Was in a very expensive venture, but not difficult. Expensive, but not difficult. So what thing they happen within the first 2 years? The first 2 years, Dr. Kane Yomukela, they set up a modality where we get what they call National Healthcare Insurance Scheme. So that everybody go able for put small betu into a pool where the government go use for build health centers them across the nation. Now, you will not get money where you pour. If na 2,000 leons you able for pay for month, then go examine that one day you contribute to 2,000 leons. Would I able for pay 50,000 leons per month? Then go examine and based on your income, if you able for pay 50,000 leons. So the one they able get money, sometimes like a people like a we, and then 300,000 leons will they pay for month. If we didn't like a Salone so, we go to pay rent 300,000 loans for month. So even if I decide for fly go America for take me healthcare business, government law say I for pay me 300,000 loans for month because I able afford them. Guess what? The government don't get that 300,000 loans. So that mami nyao na corner is sick. Government go say no worry. We don't take money from Mr. Suma and then people will get money. We get an aya, we take care of you. We don't build one fine hospital yonder. Go take care of yourself. All you need for do get your card. You go present them. You say this na my healthcare card. I not get money on a 2,000 loans stomach they pay every month. But government say we are sick at the kind of hospital and can't take care of me. I don't need for pay nothing again. That is under the National Healthcare Scheme from March 2018. Within the first 90 days, so they begin set the committees them for begin examining anything and they will go able for set them modalities and they by the first year by 2019 we don't begin launch the program. By 2020 a lot of people don't begin get healthcare cards. By 2021 we don't begin build the hospitals in every district across the nation. The next one, preventive healthcare, very important. Today inside Salone today, person they die by the type of medicine where you they take. You don't go take medicine for like well. Now that medicine they kill you. You don't get government for go put to. Because they import bad medication inside Salone. Government not there for match for checking for you. Today, person they import bad chicken. Bad chicken. We don't rot in other country, don't dump and say we don't want them. Then bring kind Salone, then sell and give people them. When they're sick, then go die. Government not there for go put to for protect you. Today, inside Salone, somebody can sit on a corner. He put water in a bottle. Something a well water, we get so shit panam. Or something some kind of dirty water, he puts sugar panam. He put small color in, he puts inside bottle, he seal them. You go and treat, he sell them. You not gonna no government will inspect that. Today, na Salone today right now. You go na son yard them. You see toilet na ya latrine. Not a normal toilet we get cover we name there. You see latrine where the maggot then tumbu the commode, cockroach the commode, flies the commode. The commode na that kind of toilet day. Kitchen there and then they cook kukuri. The thing they commode, you go na that kukuri, she don't buy your food. The person take the kukuri, you go na treat. You go sell them to innocent people them. Government not the way they cross-check that. Today, inside Salone today. For stop that one day, under Dr. Kande Yomukela in your medical healthcare system, between 2018 to 2019, by 2019, then they begin get community health inspectors. Community health inspectors. Where they inspect and certify any food where they sell to the public. If you produce water, the government healthcare inspectors in the Kande, they examine the how they produce water, examine the source of your water, test the quality of your water, ensure say you package and write the Oakman and they wear the right gears and then clean the hygienic before they allow you for sale and then get and stamp. So every water way they see, they get a serial number when a government issued number for saying a health inspected production center. And enter and they any tenant or government inspector can just bust by you anytime. Because some man go make them fine where inspector they come. But they tell the inspector go no, go back to the same old way. Instead of use pump water, go to begin use well water. Well, then they're going to do spontaneous check. Every medication where they come inside that country today, under Dr. Kende Yomukela, then go inspect the medication. Check the expiring date. If any pharmacy sell any medication or anybody take any medication, you give you problem, there will going to be a single number. You don't need for worry. Say, who's got number for call this and that? No. Emergency number, they call them. The health ministry, they answer anything. Mami Fatu. Oh, Nami Pikin, you go take some kind of medicine yesterday, now this pharmacy, then go say, oh, na the medicine name. Send medical personnel and go straight for go check your Pikin. Who's kind of medicine? Then call them, inspect them. Sometimes other people then go don't call that same number there for that same medicine there. That pharmacy then go close them. Under Dr. Kane Yumkela. Then go arrest the person, prosecute in a court, shut down in pharmacy. So that the next man no go do them again. They rot in pharmacy tablet the way they take from India, China, and Nigeria for bring come. Good one in the commodity. Good medicine they come out China, good medicine they come out India, good medicine they come out Nigeria, good medicine they come out other parts of them like Ghana, Nigeria, Ghana, and also England and Europe. But you also get the bad one them. You get people the way they make you criminals them. Turn my phone off, please. Just turn off. So they make you. You understand? Them bad people and they then criminal than they. You need a government where they care for the people and welfare, where they go inspect them pharmacy and then make sure say they not sell poison to people them. In terms of the public health, where government inspectors then they go from yard to yard, then they go educate people in the community. That's how you toilet day and also you kitchen day. Hey mama, by government regulation, you not healthy. You know you can't build kitchen near toilet. Where cockroach grab and where them grab and food in the can she don't pan. Hey bo, according to government regulation, this toilet not for there. Then guide you, they help you. Because for 56 years now the same thing don't they do, you not go know better. So we not they punish anybody because of that. But we'll be able for guide you, give you support, for let you go able for live a hygienic lifestyle so you go prevent disease under Dr. Kane Yumkela. The next important one, we don't see people that we get latrine. Where the latrine they flop, the bolobolo they car up. Because they not get way for empty arm. We don't see people that way they take rum, then drink till like they want die. Because they want spend money for feed themselves. Then they go inside latrine bolobolo for empty arm. That's not like somebody want to commit suicide. Under Dr. Kane Yumkela, that one day we will find a way for stop them. Government Ministry of Health, they get cesspit empty tankers them. Where for anybody where they build toilet, all the toilet and they inspect them. The tanker they come in empty them, then pass the bill on to you. Especially then landlord the way can get then yard then get small room them. Now the entire yard. So tell one grey house she get like them 10 different rooms them. Where they then give people them. One grain toilet. Now so the thing they bolo so. Under Dr. Kane Yumkela, then they get the Minister of Health. Bowsers the way they come every month to go to the yard and they for empty then toilet and they. Inspect the toilet then make sure say the people in the live hygienic life and from time to time begin for come up with mechanism how for change latrine toilet you know they not plenty country anymore in South Africa. Begin for change with lifestyle so we get a preventive health system. So under healthcare again the system where Dr. Kane Yumkela they can introduce. Where it be say, if you are part of the national healthcare scheme, all you need for do now forget your healthcare card, where you sick, you don't need for worry again. Because enough hospitals then go there around the country and clinics then go there around the chiefdom them, you drive in, bam. Or you call ambulance. Of course, if you call ambulance, you get for pay extra small because as I tell you now, we know they come for can lie to una. Everything costs money. But it better the thing day than in no day at all. And because you are part of the healthcare scheme, all you need for doing you card no more you need get. When you sick, you go to hospital, you present your card. Doctor take care of you, you work and go back. You not pay don't do. So when they talk about Dr. Kane Yumkela healthcare system, no other political, no other leader, not get that kind of ideas and they have to fix the healthcare system like Dr. Kane Yumkela. The last one under healthcare, we get 7 million people. The number of doctors they will get in that country, I doubt if you reach 100 itself. Now, under that kind of situation, How you go expect let doctors they able to take care of all the 7 million people in there? So waiting Dr. Kane Yumkela they do. Part of the funding where they come under the health insurance program, then go get scholarship for picking the way to go medical school. So we'll get more doctors them, send them and then village them. Give them allowance. Tell and say, okay, you don't graduate, they give 1 year training with another doctor, you don't get the experience, you go internship, or then call them waiting doctors and can go there after medical school and go some 1 year waiting and call them visits. I don't remember the word again. Anyway, if they go now some hospital and go give you hands-on training for like 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. From there now, government they give you allowance. Tell you say, okay, until government pay for you. Part of the agreement, now for let you go able for provide health care, then send you go na Kailaun. Government bill clinic day, the doctor day. If you start for 5-10 years, you don't pay for government in expenses. You can move go anything now. Then send you go Kabbalah, then send you go Kono, then send you go whatever. Sometimes inside Kono, you go get like 5, 10, 20, 50 different types of doctors. Inside Kailaun, you go get like 10, 50 different types of doctors. You get all that district there. All district, they get doctors them across the nation from chiefdom to chiefdom. I think we get over 350 chiefdoms them. We must make sure say at least every chiefdom gets a doctor. You get a clinic. You get nurses the way they work with them. You get hospital or a clinic where they serve under them. But all that thing will happen inside 1 5 year old. That not let lie. But the process they start as March 7, 2018, we don't install a transformational government. God said will come assist we within 5 to 10 years. Now in the plan they begin for unveil. Then kind of a strategy here. So we get enough doctors them, enough clinics, enough nurses. Of course, the equipment them, because of the get our insurance scheme they we'll go able for cover everybody. Enough money go there for import then diagnostic system them. And one important thing again, you can't solve a problem if you don't know what kind of problem they exist. No, so what in then call physical test or what in then call checkup, medical checkup, where 99% of the people in a salon they do them because they can't afford them. Medical checkup, you know the way till you sick. Every year you go check your body, check your blood, check your urine, check your eye, check you whatever them, for let them go know what kind of sickness or what kind of thing the way they do for change your lifestyle. Under Dr. Kane Yumkela, after the scheme launch start in 2018, 2019, by 2020, we will get a program where everybody qualify for one physical test every year. Where government they send you to doctor, then examine you, then test all kind of things, then see what kind of sickness you get, then begin for tell you say, hey, take 10, not eat too much salt, because we don't see signs say if you continue for eat too much salt, you will get high blood pressure inside 2 years. Hey, cut down on sugar. We don't see say if you begin for continue, but then they all doctor not go able for tell you if you not test your sugar level, if you not test your blood 2-3 years in advance. But today on people and go wait, stay the diabetes don't she don't pan them pap because they not get money for go hospital. Tell the hospital self not get the equipment for test them. Now that thing they go, now that thing don't too late. You know go reverse it again. You don't too late, you know go reverse it again. But that medical checkup every year from Pikimba to Grandpaba, all man will be covered in next 2-3 years under Dr. Kane Yumkela. So at least once a year, you go able to go doctor go check you up, and then if you get anything, if you're part of the insurance scheme, then go able to help you for take care of you. So that now the kind of a change where they come. When we talk about change under Dr. Kane Yumkela, that's what we mean by change. Let people understand what change means. So that we go come up behind this year where we belle woman they go hospital sometimes before you reach they don't die. Where you reach the hospital they don't die. Picking and they die as they begin they born them. Picking they die before them 5 years. Look cut down. Salone get the highest number of more picking mama the way they die for go born. They call them maternal death rate. So the lady will ask, but then question then they about energy, food security, and healthcare. I think he talk about education tonight. The last one on here, Amjad. Mm-hmm. Good. Education. You know, we don't talk say the last video I want to go watch. I let them not be watch. I let them talk how I analyze this way how the education system start in Salone, where the colonialists them. they depend on Sierra Leoneans and for carry and go like Ghana, Nigeria, Cameroon, Gambia, for go help colonize the other country than they because of the high level of our educational system. Today, because of the failures of APC and SLPP, our education system is so bad off that people are where they graduate from college, graduate from police academy, graduate from technical institute. The first statement when they make for express their young graduation statement for tell people and thank you. If you know well bulletproof, then they kill you. Because the bad English in the scatter yonder, you go wonder whose kind of graduation and graduate from. That is how bad our education system. I not blame them. I not blame the graduates though. I not blame the none. Then go able accept only waiting and give them. If the teachers they in us be much, then that teacher not going to deliver much. For fix that problem, they we need a leader who value education. Not a man who don't fail in a college, they pass them sorry for and say, brah, Lord give you a passing mark, let get out, come on here. We need man who value education. But for solve the educational system, na Salone, we need for take the ideas and fix them on the problems where they make the education bad off. And part of the problem now because them mommy and them papa them, they not get support for them picking the way to go to school. I can give you 3 examples. 3 major examples. Now I know what they start off with first. Today, where 10 reach for go school, money man picking, then get all kind of motor car available to them. You the poor picking. You get for either waka, or use bicycle, or use puda, or use taxi, or use Okada. That's if you get the money. By the time you reach na school, you brain don't tire. How you go learn? Under Dr. Kane Yomukela, he go introduce school bus system. The lady will ask about education. I don't address them at the previous video, but since they ask them back, now this time they address them back. They bring bus system. Now the bus system, you not go satisfy all schools at the same time. You go do them by district. Every district they start off with two buses, like western area. So until the population big, sometimes you go begin with 4 buses. We do clean. If they pick up picking at one end of the town, you go and drop them at the other end. Then the other option we probably then go for consider, especially that one in the villages, they can consider bicycle mechanism. But then they all know to government to go able to provide all them resources, then they, especially in terms of bicycle. So we will come up with a mechanism, work with some NGOs them, begin for partner some specific schools them, now them villages them with people that will provide bicycle so that we'll be able for supply school picking them bicycle across the country, especially down at the villages there. We not get access to the buses, then go able to sit on a bicycle in the morning and drive right go na school. If that picking day, you will get an easy way for go school, we do clean, you go glad for go school. But if that picking get for struggle, do clean, so until you get for go early morning, 5 o'clock, you don't go to water, and come every morning. You don't manage and don't cook food in the morning. You don't manage, you don't rush up, you don't dress. You begin for stressing yourself back for go school in the morning. You go sit down at school, you tire and brain tire. Sometimes you don't eat enough food in the morning. After that back, you begin struggle back another 1-2 hours for go back in the house. The way you reach, you get homework for deal with. How you go able to sit down, read that homework there? How you go able to do some of the work there you get for doing a house? And what you need for do for begin for move from there. That beginning by the time you go to bed, you don't tire. Then early morning you get begin the same routine. But if government provide bus service, that pikin they go glad for go school in the morning. You go help that mommy get for go market. You no need for worry again. Say me pikin, I don't put her inside bus. Now go to go so. That power get for go work. You no need for worry too much again. Me bobo, I don't put him na school for go work. Under Dr. Kane Yomukela, Then go set up that system. They will then go begin for introduce school bus na Salone. The next problem, na textbook. The one they win at teachers, they know. The one they win at Kumra, we get picking in our school system, they know. We government prescribe textbook. We schools and prescribe books in our school. Money man picking get access to all kind of book. Sometimes you get book in television, in phone. You get book in laptop. You get book in iPad. You po picking. Because if papa and mama no get money, you no go pay that 200,000, 300,000 there for buy book. Sometimes if they don't, then provide book for physics, chemistry, geography, mathematics, economics, health, other general sciences, or other different types of studies, computer, books. Where you don't buy one 200,000, you don't buy another 150, you don't buy another 100,000. Not to the poverty don't cancel. But under Dr. Kande Yumukela, it begins set up a system where they get public libraries. Now every district across the nation. The public library then go stock on with all the textbooks them. Where government, where schools and they prescribe. Now schools them. So that where the money man picking, they get access for go buy book na bookshop. You the poor man picking, government they tell you, say no worry, brah. Go na library. You go take book, you study, you prepare. And that public library there, you go link up with the school libraries them across the different schools. For supply them a certain number of books, so they go return. Then they supply them back another set of books, then go return. So that system they go do picking and go poor man picking and go get access to books. So that mommy we can buy textbook. Sometimes buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 textbooks every year. Sometimes by the time buy the fifth one, I don't spend 700,000, 800,000 a year. You got for pay school fees again, another 800,000 to 1 million. A person go able for better in life. I go able for billows. I go able for buy motor car. I go able for run your life. Because all way they work, it is spend and by you picking them. Because government not there for support you. Under Dr. Kande Yumukela, we will begin put the modalities in place for provide public libraries. For help them comrade them. The next one. Plenty picking and they way they go, we then drop out from school, not to say because they're not able for land book, or they not like book, or they not get brains, or they not want land book. The main reason why they not go technical institute, now because we not get enough technical institute, that's one of the reasons anyway. The second reason, one reason why they not go college, and then side and day, now because their parents them poor, they not get money for pay technical institute, the one they fee on where they not get money for pay college fees. Some want turn doctor, but money not there. Some want turn engineer, but money not there. Someone turns some business genius person who own a bank, money not there. Well, under Dr. Kande Yumukela, they provide scholarship. But scholarship money can done. But it is set up a mechanism where you go be say, not to government no more they provide the money for scholarship. We get a mechanism where you be say, scholarship funding they come out from every part of the world, especially when you form the national educational endowment. For who they abroad, we lack education, we go to donate there. If you get 100,000 Sierra Leoneans around the world, they donate $100 every year for education. Then at $10 million go there so for scholarship. $10 million. Now plenty money in loans. $1 million alone. That's $7.5 billion. So $10 million. That's 75 billion loans. 75 billion loans. You will provide a lot of scholarship for people them. And believe me, if Salone gets a right government, You get Sierra Leoneans na the diaspora. We lack Salone, but they want the right government. They go able for help and pump money for providing scholarship then they. Because I know Sierra Leoneans them, where they sponsor 2, 3, 4, 5 picking in a salon today na that country day. Free, they not sabi them, mama and daddy them from no place. Me and my wife, na example, we get 3 picking where they sponsor. And then plenty money for the year. But if you get a scholarship fund, no say that scholarship you go take care of them. Something $100 or $200 no more they pay for a year. Then they go be easy. We just relax no more, put it inside it. We get a system in the country where they take care of them and they don't often picking them. In addition to that, if scholarship money done, they set up a system where they get college loan for them they will college. Because the education from primary school, elementary to JSS 3, now free. You go for be free. You go set up a system where they go be free. For go college now, that's you don't get you basic understanding. You go able for survive. You go able for operate inside. You go able for speak English good. You go able for read and understand. You go able for choose anything. You go able for study for yourself. You go able for learn for yourself. But that next stage for go college, then create a scholarship fund where you go give you a scholarship for the poor and them, or you create a student loan where you go be say you go take some small loan in a bank. You go take you pay your fees. After you don't study done. Where you don't begin work, they begin pay small for the next generation. Let themselves meet small money, where they go able for take loan pan. That now the kind changes the way they can as Salone under the new government after March 7, 2018. All God they wait for now you for let you cast your vote for the right leadership. And the right leadership now Dr. Kande Yumkela. Now nobody fool now. Dr. Kande Yumkela is the right leadership. Now the only man will get a better chance for beat APC and SLPP. So if you the plan for vote for any other person, me they beg you, not waste your vote. Because you know they vote for APC, because you know they vote for SLPP, that vote they not waste time. Vote for a group, for a man, a leader, Dr. Kande Yumkela, will get a chance for beat APC and SLPP na the young ground. This is not the opportunity we'll get so for do that. Dear, let we talk to mommy and brother in every corner of Salone. Let them know say the stake at hand. We need for bring about change in our country. Thank you. Any more questions before we wrap up?
Yeah, I can ask you for 1 second.
Yeah. So when I send the questions them, will they wait in case any more questions there, we answer them.
So one of the things that a lot of people need to talk about is kind of they get a lot of support from the diaspora, but that doesn't translate to a vote
on the ground.
Okay. So how then go ensure say their support is meaningful? Like how they can able to transform their support now to a vote in Salone?
Very good question. Very good question. The question is, we know say Dr. Kande Yumkela get a lot of support on the ground, but he need a lot more support for let go over the 55% mark, for let go beat APC and SLPP the first round. And you get a lot of support in the diaspora. How we go able for make let Salonians the way in the diaspora, we like them country, love them country, want for change. Let them your effort go able for translate into vote. There are several ways for do that. One, I know say plenty of una get people who they support on the ground. Because if we know they support people on the ground, the starvation where they happen in that country, it will be unbearable. It will be close to Somalia. I've been there, I've lived through it. I see how people in the beg every day forget food in the morning. The Sierra Leone diaspora, they send, according to statistics, over $350 million every year where they help for sustain the economy. And most of that money, they go through consumption. For buy food, for buy clothes, for buy shoes, and the one that we know them priorities for buy the expensive smartphone. But when they send money for anybody for go buy expensive smartphone, it means you get a better life. We got other people that really need food that then first they go give. I don't care if you know me family. But in any case, because of that leverage they we all get with people that are on the ground, you can call them and appeal to them. Especially the one that way come on our families, the one that die-hard APC. Especially the one that will come on our families, the one that die-hard SLPP. You can call your auntie, you call your mama, you call your daddy, you call your uncle, you call your brother, you call your nephew. Tell them, say, do your March 7. Let we do all kinds of things under the sun. Let we get a new government, let we transform our country. I want where they send money for you every time. Let you self able for the opportunity. Let you rise so that if they wash you back, you self they wash you belly. As in can say na parable. Where somebody they wash you back for you. You self for the rob belly. You no go wait. Stay the person you rob you back no. I say we don't. They say me belly for can rob himself. Hey bo. That jelly buy is in the money for end them. So where the diaspora get that leverage there. The second leverage we get. Some of we can volunteer, especially within the last 2 weeks, where they lead to the election. Move to the country. Set up a volunteer front. For man some of the polling stations them. There is high demand. Dr. Kane Yomukela, they look for a lot of people and for them on the ground. When I adopt specific polling stations them. You go on the ground, you adopt them, you say me demand this for Dr. Kane Yomukela. Then put the constituency number, put the ward number, you sit on there for make sure see that vote day. Nobody not play you say you chef they watch them. Then put your name down and get a side you go get for sign up. If you need for know who say you need for sign up for be a volunteer, send message to this WhatsApp number. +1, which is for US, 908 759 4332. +1 908 759 4332. Send message to that WhatsApp number there. I go share on the link. I go click. You sign your name. You volunteer for Dr. Kane Yomukela for go man specific polls them. That's not the second way we can do that. The third way we can do that, if sometimes you busy too much na your job, you're not able for left your job let you go, or sometimes it will be too expensive because of the kind of bad leadership we will get. That another example, the taxation in our port, the airport there is so high, the price of tickets, especially if you come out from America, you will get at least, them 1,500, 1,600, depending upon which airline you use, and depending upon whether your ticket is refundable or not. Part of that money, they plenty part of that money, they na the taxation when they pay na the port, na the airport. So if you compare that expenses there, you go for buy ticket, you go. You go for think about accommodation. You go for think about feeding. You go for think about the job where you don't left beer where they make money. Because young abroad, they don't know say we abroad who left, 1 week money work. They get money 1 week. So all the 10 away they left for go. If you not get able for make that money there, you add all that expenses there. Sometimes it will cost you at least $3,000 to $5,000. So for cut down on that expenses there, or sometimes enable for left your job let you go, you can call that number they will give you. So you look for a specific constituency, say they adopt particular word. When I find somebody where they man that word they me go pay them or sponsor them out of my own contribution for make sure say we seal this victory. That's not the third way for do that. The fourth way, you can just find a way for contribute money to all the fundraising drives them wherein they do in the name of Dr. Kane Yomukela. You self contribute. That money they help. Right now, APC get over $12 million wherein they pump for the election. Then they spend 50 fatal like money and they make them. Now by box, then they distribute money to them groups them. Then desperate for make sure they hold power back. For we match that one day. For now we will compete with that one day. Now a tough job. a lot of money. Dr. Kane Yomukela in one grain will do that. Now we all country. Let we do all kind of things we able for do. For help them and pump more money. For support them. Let we make sure say this victory for we country in sake. We'll get somebody who will able for lead way to a better future tomorrow. Thank you very much. I hope I don't answer that question there. The people that waiting at the diaspora have to translate your vote into real vote on the ground. Mm-hmm. Yes. Any more questions?
This is a question I'm going to ask. I turn on my audio and cut. So here's a question I want to ask. This is related to health, not health, child welfare.
Child welfare, okay.
You know, recently in the show, you know, very small kids and you know do very hard work. So I want to make you talk a little bit about child welfare. One, on the side of the government's responsibility, and two, on the side of the parents' responsibility.
Yes.
And if I get anything on that, we you know address that.
Okay, that's a very important question. Because now we own African environment, it look like I say there is something way the wrong with we traditional African values to the point that they not get respect for Pekin anymore. You know? In those old days, in the 100 years ago or more, the real African tradition, you Pekin, they play with them. Then they give priority to Pekin them. But nowadays, now we African environment, the Pekin and they use them like tool. Some man they born Pekin not because you want Pekin, because you want somebody for the broke stone for them. Some man they born Pekin not because you want Pekin, because you want somebody who go they can't cook for them or they can't sell market for them. Some man they run, then they deal with Pekin like slave. Some man they go in a village, go meet Famul, go take 2-3 Pekin and say I'm here, they can't bring them kind of free turn for come them for you na lie, they can't turn them in a market and they sell and treat. Child welfare is very crucial. We not get no government today where they seek the interest of the Pekin them. The Pekin and they suffer. Let nobody fool now. If you see some Pekin there where they suffer at that country there, you look, you see how Pekin they suffer at that country there. If you get conscience, if you get humanity inside you, if your heart now God make them, when not to Satan they dominate them, you love human being, you know go hold your tears. The way Pekin they suffer na Salone. We not get no government, no the way they protect the interest of the Pekin them. Under Dr. Kane Yomukela, there is going to be a special unit for child welfare. The issue of education, it will be a matter of right for the Pekin. Now 3 parties, then they will forget the obligation for ensure say the Pekin enjoy that right there. The first obligation is the parent. Regulations then go there where the parents then require for provide the necessary support for that Pekin they go able for access education. The second one, now the government. The government will get obligation for provide affordable access to affordable education for the Pekin them. The third party, now the Pekin himself. Because on Pekin and they, you can provide all kind of opportunity for them. If they're not able for, then they're not going to accept the opportunity and go still live a rare life. So where you can make record, tell and say, hey, Brahma, we don't provide this for you, we don't provide this for you. You look like say you know like school, you can't sign now. What school you know? You don't fail 1 year, second year can't sign now. Where big tomorrow, you say government can't help me and say, but not even sign this 10 years ago. Oh, they provide all kinds of support for you, you know the way name. But let's focus on the two, the parents' responsibility and the government responsibility. Now, under the parenting responsibility, any pikin where they under school going age, within the time then where they're supposed to go school, it will be a crime for them to prevent that pikin enough for go school. So if you say I send me pikin a market, let go sell na market, where the pikin a 10-year-old pikin who is supposed for the school in the morning. Now when you not get government to they watch you. For like you say I go take pikin a village, brand kana frito, brand kana makinita, brand kana corner district, kana bow, it turn a boy. Where the pikin they 10 year, 11 year, 12 year, 13 year, supposed for the school. So then 8 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning, the pikin they sell in the market. Under Dr. Kane Yomukela, from 2018, they begin for walk away for help them, mommy them, so that they go able for help them picking them for go market. Because it's not easy for change an attitude where people don't used to for over 56 years. It's not easy. If that partner host get woke, that mommy they go able for whole things, then they able for do I not need picking go school. But the mommy need help, so then the partner get woke. So if Dr. Kane Yomukela come, they don't get opportunity then for them create jobs. People that get job. You're not gonna need for selling picking for go turn sell and treat. But over a period, we will go for consider regulations then. So that way they drive na treat. First of all, that two shifts we need for end that one day. The two shifts and don't point mix up everything because you don't know when time picking them for dinner at school. Because you can miss school and picking in the morning, you dey and sell, you go tell you say na afternoon shift a day. How you go deny that? Sometimes you meet picking they sell na evening time, or you say na morning shift a day. How you go deny that? You don't go know which one time for go school. But over a period, if we don't build enough schools and across the country, you go for change that double shift. One shift in the morning. So between 7 o'clock to 1 or 2 o'clock, last year I go send you picking for go broke stone, where government don't put law say the picking for go school. Last year I go send that picking in a market for go begin selling a treat, where government don't put law say the picking for go school. And the government they try for provide the opportunity, school bus day, textbooks they provide. So if the Kumra, if you no want support that picking, you no want them. Then get family care centers and across the country, and family planning. Take your wife and pick your wife una go there. Una limit the number of picking the una they born. But if una bring kind of the world, government say you get obligation, moral obligation for support them. Government they support you, but you say for do your own. So we go seek picking and welfare on the other side there. But that touch on the most important side where nobody know they think about. Only Dr. Kane Yomukela in system. Every school district, they get a welfare officer. The welfare officer, now in the move from school to school, sometimes they get motorbike. Let's assume say in a Bow district. Sometimes they get a welfare officer where they cover the Bow district. Each school, they get one teacher, sometimes a math teacher, sometimes an English teacher, sometimes a geography teacher, but we get a social welfare background. Sometimes you study some kind of a degree in a college, when a second degree course or a minor subject in degree course where they deal with welfare. So why see they teach maths or they do all that subject, then go assign them for let go be the welfare officer in that school day. So that picking them we get issues with their social life, then get side for go complain, where they don't need for depend on principal. The one person where government don't assign, they get the authority for take record and report where something happen. Some picking there, sometimes we don't come out school, the same time we picking, sometimes the picking there where they go school, sometimes on the way to school, somebody they bully and a treat. That bully where they bully and a treat, sometimes beat and put in a dirty box, you know, get pushed in a house, sometimes that's on your auntie, they don't care, sometimes your uncle, they don't care. So they're afraid for go school. Or sometimes on picking there, the kind of stress when they get in a house, you know, go can school on time, you know, go sometimes they can't school sick, sometimes they can't school angry. You need a welfare officer at the school where they monitor the picking them. Sometimes somebody is picking in grade, in the rise today, all of a sudden you begin to see drop. Or all of a sudden it's picking up they can't school again. We need a welfare officer at the school where they go check the home. He say, hey, Auntie Joy, I not see eye on a school for 3 days. What happened? Me a government officer, can't find out. Under Dr. Kade Yomukela, you get social welfare officers them per district. Because we know we'll get enough money for get enough people and for pay all schools and for get social welfare workers them. No. If I say we go for do that, na lie. But per district, each district, you get in motorbike, you get in small laptop, or you get in small folder where you go create the record. Where do clean, you get a list of school that you go and visit. The school, they get one teacher where they go give an additional responsibility. Where are the welfare officer? All picking go know am. Oh, Mr. Vandy, now this school here so, now the welfare officer. Where somebody, where them bully me in a school on a house, or they abuse me in a house, or sometimes somebody rape me in a house. I did to me auntie, uncle, they not care. I can go to my welfare officer in a school, I go put. Or teacher they we don't money me say, if me not follow am, you not follow me, you know, give me grade, I get welfare officer for go put to. Under Dr. Kande Yomukela go seek the picking the interest by ensuring that there is a welfare officer in each of the schools and welfare officer per district. So then get somebody for put to go seek their interest. And you parents, for let you say a bully picking, you know they go school today, na punishment that one day, na crime they commit under in government because every picking supposed to go school. You bully and say you no go school. This one day by the second day they go check in your house for ask you which make that picking no go school. So I hope that answer that question there.
Somebody want to call him, but I want to talk about the IMF loan thing.
Oh, the IMF loan? Yes, well, something at the other 2 ways then. But this let's talk about that IMF loan. One, the one way they happen right now, and two, the role of the IMF and the World Bank in general. I'll let you listen to this, especially a student the way the university, especially the one the way they study economics. If you know they study economics, this is not what you need for know. But let's touch on what's happening right now with the IMF loan when you talk about. The government what we get right now, this APC government, under the past 10 years, government, God don't create opportunities the way they make because of the world don't sorry for we after the war. Then pump a lot of resources in Salone. The mining industries then bring a lot of opportunities in the country. But the government abused their opportunities and they for the past 10 years. So much so that we've been lost an average of $9.5 million every year to fraud, to waste, and abuse of government resources. So if you total landing almost $95 million within to $10 million, $200 million within the past 10 years, now you don't lost in the government system. Again, as I said, to fraud, waste, and abuse. Fraud, na then corruption business. Waste, na then thing they manage government resources properly, and abuse, na then the way no they take care of government property them. I can give you an example. Then say for build road. Then see then next not just say we don't build road, infrastructure, or examine the economic effect of that infrastructure development on the lives of the people them. Wilkinson Road. If you ask them development economists them, then go tell you say that 4.5 kilometers there, for pass more than $4 to $5 million for Bilam. Under APC government and say $19 million. So who said that $14, $15 million they go? That's corruption. You know what they mean? The money where government forget for build school, they again, one person don't farm. The money we get for build hospital, they again, they don't farm. That's the economic effect. The money we for don't use for use school bus, they don't farm. They again. The money we they need for support the farmers them, they again, they don't farm. That's not just one aspect of fraud. There are so many areas of fraud where don't happen under the APC government. As I say, an average where they don't check the statistics. An average of $9.5 million every year. Now they go into fraud, waste, and abuse. So almost $1 million go do for transform lives, for save people away they die. Now then corrupt element they embezzle, enrich themselves, and then spend and fiti fata. Let's talk about waste. You see the petrol way government officers they use. Now government is provide that one day. How government they pay for that fuel then they so each of the government will command them. They get over 2,000 liters every month. Remember, 2,000 liters. Then almost 12 million loans per each government officer then allowed by them. Then government they spend for fuel them motocar them wouldn't they use for parade around town. Some man for go find in girlfriend, a government woman motocar they use. Some man for go weekend in village, na government motocar they use. Whether they provide that fuel, government. That now waste of government resources. You dey get one minister, because you get connection in a then sacred cow, you dey get motocar for himself under the ministry where they provide them. You get motocar for him wife under the government where they provide them. You get other spare motocar she don't dey wait. In case this broke down, you go, she don't pan that one day, then go fix that one day. Under the government where they provide them. That are abuse and waste of government resources. Now, some countries like Rwanda, for instance, government motocar and then get time. We don't know for run a treat. All government motocar get marking. Used strictly for official purpose. And then get specific officials in a government where they get entitlement to government vehicles. Not all kind of phone to bar, because you know some party person, then go give you some kind of a position, you don't know a beef from a bull's foot. Go sit down, then go give you $60,000 motorcar, Land Cruiser. The government they pump fuel every year. People in the suffer at the country. That is waste and abuse of government resources. Now, under Dr. Kande Yumkela, we will find a way for set up structures for save on them waste and abuse of them government resources then they, so that enough money go there for take care of government. Now, how IMF and World Bank come into this? Because government need for generate revenue and spend for run itself. One of the way they generate revenue for spending itself, now through the taxation system. In economics, then call a policy we then call fiscal policy. Under fiscal policy, it deal with what thing government need for do for generate revenue and for run itself. Now, the Minister of Finance, now in the headway responsible for that policy then they for set them thing and they for let government go able for generate enough money. But because we get a corrupt government, the government not generate enough revenue. How? The taxation, I be don't give one example. Like the mining company where they come. We say a company is supposed to pay 30% tax because of the UK something at 10% or 4% like London mining, they pay. So all that money we're supposed to go to government, they go in their pocket. So government they broke. You need to get enough money. The second one, the custom duty when they pay. Where the goods then they come, if you're not a member of parliament, you're not a party person, all you need for do make a phone call to the minister. Hey, but I bring 2 motorcar and now for me, this and that. But in TCF no, now holding at the party. This but no worry, but send and let can do cost waiver. He sign and bang. That parliamentarian day. That money we supposed for pay government. You know they pay again because na party policy, because of the corruption. So government they broke, you know they get money. Hey, another man don't come. Oh, this now we investors, foreign investors. Oh, but you get connection with the president, or you get connection with this and that. Oh, he brings also kind thing them. Sometimes you don't bring one container rice or one container something. Hey, how much you for pay? 10 billion leons as custom duty. But no worry, bo. Go to the minister, then go write off, bam. Just pay 2 billion leons, 8 billion. Go for build schools and help farmers them. You know they're going to government pocket. So in the end, where government ready now for prepare budget, waiting in need for spend for running self for the year, the government not get money. The minister, all the politicians, they don't put under them pocket. The government broke. Then say, hey, money not there. Who's how they go? Go to IMF. Go take loan. Go to World Bank. Go take loan. This trip, then go take loan to IMF. They agree on $224 million. This APC government, this recently, this is like a few months so that they tell you so. Now IMF say, bo, the debt don't plenty now, Edo. 2007, where the APC government take power, we country be almost debt free. Today why they talk so. We almost 1.6 to $2 billion debt. Now we $1.6 billion debt. Now APC don't get that. Don't put on at the next generation head. If we continue forget APC, 1 more minute after March 7, sometime by another 5 years, now $20-30 billion. Now debt, now we get. Now people in head. For trust no more fata, trust from China, trust from England, trust from Musaiba, trust from Musaida. And money though, the mineral in the camp, the gold they come, the diamond they come, the tax and they pay, the GST, that the highest we don't pay at the history of we mommy and papa in life. Now the highest tax people in the pay in that country day. You go buy electricity, they pay tax. You go buy gas, petrol, they pay tax. You don't buy any canteen, they pay tax. Every 10 more tax. What minister they had up, they say put tax. So when they go to IMF, now IMF say, well, this trip, before we give you the money, we need for sign some conditionalities. What are them conditionalities here? We need for reduce, we need for increase on our revenue, we find way for take care of them, then custom duty waiver they give them a party steward them. We stop down them. Let them pay their own tax, let government get money. So now therefore they come bigger to we all the time. When I say for all the time when they come bigger. IMF now they tell government so. Who's can bigger life when they pan so. But all still no more they come bigger to we. So when I take care of that one day. The next one. Oh, when I've been talk say today, when they pay subsidy for petrol also. Now remember and petrol have been 3,750. Then lie to we, the people. They say, oh, well, we need for increase unto 6,000. They say, why? Oh, because government say, oh, IMF say, oh, remove subsidy. Now, today, now, IMF say, then go tell IMF say, them in they pay subsidy. If them in they pay subsidy, how come the petrol price don't go 6,000? I mean, when I tell you tradition, I don't remove subsidy. Now, this trip now, IMF say, well, until now say, when I still pay subsidy, when I remove the subsidy. Now, how they go remove subsidy? They don't remove and trade. Then lie to IMF, so no worry, will they remove them. How the custom duty, when I go stop for the getting 50 fata custom duty, I know what the IMF will go do them. Then sign them. Then say, how about the rice subsidy they want to give for supply them police, then army, then this and that. No worry, IMF will go remove them subsidy then sign the document. IMF say, okay, no problem, I don't sign and also law test on first. Then give them $50 million. As they give them the $50 million so. Hey! Now then say they're not drunk now. Uncle Apobek. Begin spend now 50 fata. Now IMF faint pan and say, up! Then they pan spend some money then pan election. Now IMF say, pop! Now last week, now IMF send letter say, will they suspend una? That money they will be the plan for give una. 224 million. That 50 million, I don't begin 50 fata. We don't give una anymore. Dear pa. So if anybody asks question about that IMF side, now the answer that one day. But now I talk about the economic side in terms of IMF, the role of the IMF and the World Bank will bring impoverishment to Africa. Now in a lengthy discussion. In fact, now one way I think so we need to get another discussion on that. Because I want to let people understand the role of the IMF, the role of the World Bank, how they impoverish Salone, the role they play from the early 60s to now, how IMF contributes for we own impoverished one, the kind of mafioso system we don't set up, now the global economy, for make sure say then put we down and drop we currencies them. Now only now they don't float with currency. There was a time where the government now they determine the currency value of the currency because of the conditions the way IMF and World Bank they set to them. But before I go, let's just touch on two things. Just on IMF, because I lengthy discussion because we don't spend how many hours now, so I want to cut this one short. But this IMF World Bank, let me tell you the fundamental role where IMF dey for. Now for provide subsidy to member nations them, we get problem for pay them balance of payment. Let explain that again. That is after the big English part down there. What's that they mean? Then say, let we open we market. In other words, let we open we industry them and assign up to the free market system around the world. The free market system means if you're not part of that club there, you can produce any food or anything in any part of the world. You want to sell in any country, you can go and sell and enough for restrict you. If you bill say they produce oil better than Sierra Leone, no worry, you can produce I go dump on a Salone. Then where Salone able produce your oil, you able produce your rice. But you need rice, you need oil, you get for import and not so. The world mafia shows and say, no worry about IMF day. Where you don't import plenty. But you not get the dollars because you know they export enough. Let's assume say they export $2 billion worth of mineral resources and other stuff them. But you import $3 billion. That means you owe the world $1 billion. How you they get that $1 billion day? The world say, no worry. If you not get money for pay that $1 billion day, not cut off your import. Continue for import no more. You just continue for import. We there will help you. IMF they can, will give you loan. The stupid leaders they will be get under Sheikh Stephen, for instance, because they're selfish, they're wicked, they not care for people them, then they go and take the loan from IMF. But the imports not they stop holding, they continue for import the expensive motor car. The way IMF, they allow the importation for go because we don't take loan from them. What in that they mean? Anyone where they make butter, we will get factory where they make butter in a Salone. It closed down because the butter where they come, they not able to compete with them. Factory where they make oil, it closed down because they're not being able to compete with the oil in the import. Factory where farmers, the way they grow rice for let them go export, let them go able for enough, let them go sell in the market. They're not able to compete with the rice when they import. But what thing they fail for realize? The side when they make their rice, when they farm their rice, then they decide when they make their oil, then they decide when they manufacture their other thing and around the world when they bring can Salone. Then government they support them. Then call an agricultural subsidy. Inside America, it's how much subsidy they give farmers? It's over $1.5 trillion over 10-year period. They can debate them. Where government they give free to farmers them for build them up so they can go able for produce what they eat. The excess then go dump on Africa. Because we got stupid leaders them. Then follow that bait they say when I wear the loan don't plenty. Then say, oh, this tree before we give you, we get for follow conditionalities. Hey, we're waiting at them conditionalities now. 1980. Sheikh Stevie with his stupidity. We not get money. He say one host owe you. Then go build a oil villa, then go take all kind loan. You get help from here, help from there. The balance is safe for go trust. World Bank, IMF. Then they say, hey, bro, wait. IMF conditionalities. Wait now the conditionalities. Cut down subsidies. Sack you, command them. Reduce salary. Cut down you value of your currency. That time will not be get this new system when I floating system. Now one grain net no more. The central bank they announce say, hey, the loans in value. Yesterday net. Now been 2 loans to $1. Today net. Now 10 loans to $1. Just within 24 hours because of IMF conditionalities. Now let's tell you now the economic effect of that one day. When I listen to this carefully, for especially picking the winner economist, where they study economics in school. If that farmer within na farm, na cacao, they selling cacao, right? If they sell at 1,000 loans per ton, that time the way the loans been value. 1,000 loans per ton. Somebody come out from abroad, one can buy 10 ton. You go need 10,000 loans for buy 10 ton, not so? Now, forget that 10,000 loans, because now $1 to 1 loans, you could go for bring $10,000. Not so? So the same thing with diamond. If you want can buy diamond in Salone, the value of the diamond, they don't put and say, now 10 loans to a carat or 1,000 loans to a carat. You want buy 10 carat, you know, now 10,000 loans you go for bring come. Forget 10,000 loans. If now $1 to 1 loan, now $10,000 you bring come. Not so? Now waiting IMF they do, then say, okay, no waiting. Would they spend too much money on then diamond? Would they spend too much money on then cocoa and then coffee? Lord will find a way for finish them. After the longest stupid government don't take too much loan from them, then tell the government say, bang, reduce the value of your currency. Yesterday, now be 1 loan to $1. Today, automatically, it don't turn to 2 loan to $1. Now listen to this now. 2 loans to $1. Now, that man will come for can buy diamond. When at 10 carat, 1,000 loans per carat, 10,000 loans, now you need for pay, not so. Because that be 1 loan to $1 and $10,000 he bring can so. Now, that man he need for only bring can $5,000. Because now, from yesterday to now, say Stevie don't pass law, say the currency rate don't change. The man they bring $5,000. He can't take 10,000 loans worth, when at $10,000 worth of diamond, when at $5,000 normally they pay. Because of that conditionality we governments don't impose, YMF don't impose on we government. Because of the stupidity. The same happened to the cocoa and coffee. The farmers in Akala on Kenima Bont, Moyamba, will be the export, Kono, will be the export, then get money, then rich, then they enjoy life. Now, because government don't accept IMF conditionalities, the value of the cocoa, if they want to get 1,000 loans now for 1 ton, or they want to get 10,000 loans for 1 ton, they can't able to get 10,000 loans for 1 ton anymore. Because instead of 1 loan to $1, now 2 loans now to $1, so then go for produce 20,000 or 2,000 tons. Because 1,000, 10 tons, 1,000 per 1 ton, per $1, per $1,000 per 1 ton. So if you want to produce 10,000 loans, you want to get 10,000 loans. Yesterday, now 110 ton no more they send for 10,000 loans. But now they don't, because they don't devalue, you go need for send 20 tons for get 10,000 loans. Otherwise, you go only get 5,000 loans for that 10 ton the way they sell. So what that they mean? The people in the work hard, produce twice, but get half the amount of money they produce for. But that part the way one go buy motorcar, the price of the motorcar don't go up. So that part they don't get in 10,000 loans now. It don't manage. The last 10 at 10 tons no more able for send for get 10,000 loans. This trip you get for work hard for send 20 tons for get the same 10,000 loans because they don't devalue with currency. But the workman then way he need for pay, the number of workman they need for increase. So that 10,000 leons not enough for them again. Oh. You got for spend more for pay for more workman them. You got for spend more for pay for more fertilizer or whatever chemicals they get for use. You got for pay more. Now you want to go buy truck. So until that price motor in truck, that been $2,000 trade. When at 2,000 leons trade. Now the motor in price don't go to 4,000 leons. Now $4,000 you need. But not $10,000, 4,000 don't go. Trading have been 2,000. Now 4,000 you get for pay for that same motor carry. So the farmer in expenditure don't increase, in income don't reduce under IMF conditionality. Now the mafia game now they then play per way. Then seller will continue for import until we able for cut down on the number of items that we import. Until we able for protect we industries that we in our country. So then say go able for stand on their own. In the 1800s, when I read the history of industrial development, the West, America, they mean get England, particularly Europeans, the Asians, they mean get protectionist policies. The protectionist economic policies, where they protect their own industry. For instance, if Salone they produce steel, you are import iron rod, then go double the tax so that the producer in the produce steel and Salone go able for sell. Then do them for over 100 years until the industries then don't settle down, don't strong for compete. Then they produce more than waiting in the able for it. Then say, oh, Lord, bring the world together. Lord, bring the Africa together. Lord, fool them on this free market industrialization ideology. Let them open the market so we know what they produce for them. Let them go to eat what they produce for them and be consumers. Until we get a government, we not get economists that we not get slavish mentality to the ideologies of IMF or World Bank. Now that kind of slavish mentality will continue for 56 years. We don't have slavery today. Economic slavery, the West to do it. Now what's that World Bank come into play? They no say government is responsible for build school, is responsible for build hospital, is responsible for build roads, is responsible for build all that stuff then they. So when they go to IMF for pay for we balance of payment deficit them, then go tell IMF back, the money we don't able for pay for them import that we don't import. The money will not give it. But we still need for build school, need for build hospital, we need for build road. But no worry, but World Bank Day. You see the role? IMF strictly now for supply, like how man they drink omole, you don't use for the drink rum all the time. Or you a drug addict, they shoot all the time. Then somebody can, but no worry, but continue for the shoot. Where you need more, they give you loan. Where you need a mole, can me bad, they trust you. Now help you, they help that drunkard, so no. Now that they happen to Salone because of sarcastic in bad policy where an Eskroma don't adopt. Now that make them they continue for take loan, take it from IMF because in the weakening we own industry. That when you talk about build school for build hospitals, government money no they don't fit it all to put all in their pocket. Then say, hey, World Bank Day, World Bank self come. We then quote them or waiting they happen. Law can she don't talk. Now the same institution, you know, the same other government and they form them two institutions and they. But one day for supply will they drunk no more all the time for import. The other one day they say we need for build school and build hospital them. They say go to them, then give you loan. Until we get a government who they seek the interests of people them. For change that mentality they begin for find way for build factories them and rise economically. Salone no go ever save. We are economic slaves and take it in our own country. APC and SLPP now then put that agbade pawi until we dump them March 7, 2018. Salone no go free. Thank you very much, my friends.
So before you round up, I just want to make you talk briefly on our laws and law enforcement. Because we already have a lot of laws, but the country is still there in disarray, like they obey the laws then. So how Yumkela they do that differently from what we have now?
That's a very brilliant question again. What man in the way smart now this group here too. Now very brilliant question they ask. Then say, what's not the problem we will get now with country who get lost them, and they're not able to enforce the laws them, people only respect the laws them, and they know violate the laws then people in the suffer, they go to court, you know they get you right. Well, it starts with constitution. The constitution, bad as it is, because it gets a lot of loopholes away for fix, but it's still better. Now the supreme law of the land, where they are above everybody, including the president. Inside with constitution, there are certain protections and they for citizens. When are fundamental protections and they, where anybody will respect with constitution, you know go mess up with that one day. The constitution is supposed for time like with Bible or the Quran. The constitution they define how the government is supposed to be structured. It define the type of branches of government where they. You get the executive branch, where now the president, now the head. Then they for enforce the laws them. Now that make you get the police and the army under the president's young branch. You also get the legislative branch. That now the members of parliament. Then they for make laws them. Now they your responsibility that they examine the country situation, they make the laws them for guide we. But all the laws they make, the constitution supreme pass them. They get the judiciary. Inside the legislative branch, now the House of Parliament, now the speaker, now the head of that branch there. You get the judiciary. When are the chief justice, now the head of that side there. The your role now for enforce, now for interpret the law. The parliament they make law, the court, the judiciary they interpret the law. The government, when are the president, that the executive branch, they enforce the law. Now all in three branches here now constitute a government. I hope you understand that. Now, last tell you also the entire situation breakdown take place. The breakdown takes place in two areas, two fundamental areas. Allow me to listen to this carefully. The first one, now the way where we the political parties then structured. The law now with constitution say the internal structures of political parties supposed to be democratic. That means decisions only they make now the political parties them for be based on the opinions and the rights wherein they give the members of the party for influence that decision day. But all them political parties them, their internal structures are not democratic. So what thing then they do? Then get somebody where they become the chairman of the party. And that somebody where they become the chairman of the party, in this case under APC and Eskroma, I don't become chairman of the party. Now in they dictate and determine who therefore become parliamentarian in each constituency. Then call and symbol. Now in they give symbol. So what thing they mean? In the now president as head of the executive branch. Now he get control over the legislature within your own party. Because people are waiting at parliament. If you challenge the president, because your role in a parliament, now for challenge the executive branch, if the minister don't mess up, you the parliamentarian get right for calling a parliament, they can investigate them. Now so parliament is very powerful. The parliament now the body were responsible for protect with constitution. Parliament is so powerful that if they want to remove any president, they get the power for do that. That's how powerful parliament be. But if you get a structure where the president, where any parliamentarian and party challenge him, he go tell you, shall not give symbol for next election. And you know, say if you not give symbol, you not go to contest in that constituency day. So the people and the constituency not get a voice for determining whether will become the parliamentarian. The first step, now the chairman of the party now go dictate that, which is very undemocratic. Until we fix that loophole there, Salone political system, judicial system no go ever correct. I will come to the judiciary. But just like tell you first about the way the demarcations, where the three branches supposed to be equal in terms of power, but how they weaken the other branches because of that particular mess they where they set up, where the internal political parties them, they're not able for fix. But why? Because we got a weak opposition. We not get an opposition where they challenge the political parties then for suing in a parliament, what's in a court, for breaching that part of the constitution where their own internal structures are not democratic. So what in that they mean? The parliamentarian are supposed to hold the feet of the government on behalf of the people on weekend. They don't get power anymore because the parliamentarians and they under the pocket of the president. The second area, the constitution not get avenues then how for check parliament in terms of how parliament for rewarding itself. You see the logic? Let's tell you something. This is very crucial. Parliament now they determine your salary. As long as you get president who corrupt like them, where ready for deal with them for sign that document they can pay themselves any money. So they get a corrupt president. We need parliament for dance to in tune, for licking foot. Like kind of the licking foot right now. So today with parliamentarians them very highly paid. And let's tell you another problem, yeah? We don't begin to reflect on our economy. The parliamentarians they don't create a pension system for themselves, where their salary, where they don't retire, then salary where they make, where they in a parliament, if it be equal to the amount when they receive as pension. Whose government will able to sustain that? Right now, we get over 112, 120 parliamentarians. Now you go to 140 something parliamentarians. Multiply that on the 140 multiplied by $4,000 a month. Now, if 100 of them retire, you get another 100. That's not 240 government go for the pay every year. Until we get a government, people in our government will understand the ramification of their decision then they are able to set up a system for protect the different branches of government. Are able to challenge the system, let them correct down, let political parties them. Are able to enforce a democratic principle so that the president will get control over the parliament. So the president can get control over parliament in two ways. He get control over parliament because if he get control over the speaker, or if he get control over the chairman of the party, if in party get majority, he get automatic control over the parliamentarians and not get voice over them again. The second way, because parliament need the president for approve the kind pay they pay themselves, now quick for pro relationship with them. So then say go find a way now for pay the parliamentarian and then fat allowances, fat this and that, so parliamentarian know they check them. So that loophole then our constitution will need for be fixed. The next one, now the judiciary. How then weaken the line between the judiciary and the executive branch. Now three ways, very important, very crucial, but we'll go fix that one, God willing. Inside Salone, we'll go fix that them problem then they. The first one, for appoint somebody for become a magistrate, for become a judge, for become a Supreme Court, High Court judge, Supreme Court judge, or Chief Justice, now the president now get that prerogative there. Which is fine, I don't get problem with that at all. President forget the right for appoint somebody. But parliament, now they approve. Now listen inside the catch there. Now parliament, they approve. You see inside the catch there? Now, as I tell you now, the president already they control parliament Through this loophole where they na the internal structures of political parties where the chairman get the power for determining whether they give flag bearer. So the constituencies they not get the power for determining whether they want. The primary, the democratic process where they give the right of members of the party in each constituency for determining whether they want as parliamentarian for represent them. They don't take that power in their hand, then give the chairman they dance to the tune of the president they control parliament through that. So if the president appoints somebody who not fit for be a judge, who not fit for be a magistrate, when a bootlicker, who not get respect for the constitution, he send and go parliament no will get a question for ask, bam, they approve him. So what thing they mean? You don't narrow the power structure between the executive branch and the judiciary. That's now one area. Now that make the judges they not get power because the president get an influence for look at any judge he fire you, which is wrong. Somebody will not appoint him as a judge, especially a Supreme Court, a High Court judge. The appointment for be lifetime. Until you commit a crime, then take the matter, go parliament, then debate in a parliament, then impeach you. 2/3 majority. For that you go remove that judge day. But today under APC, and as Kumakin grab no on money, look judge fire him. The opposition will not get opposition. Because if you say opposition weak, it's an understatement. We not get opposition. The one that way they not to opposition them. Then they no more for feel and belay, then le belay to the same president because they want for it, they not care about the people them. Then they want for jump say and get political parties. So it don't narrow the vision. So you see how the president don't control the judiciary, he don't control the legislative branch. The second way, where the president they control the judiciary, the executive branch they control the judiciary. Now the fact that say they also get the control of the purse strings, the type of motor car where the judges then they drive. Now the president get the power for determining that. The type of fringe benefit then they get. Now the president get the power for determining that. How for adjust the judges then salary? The parliamentarians then are supposed for talk on behalf of the judges then, the magistrate then, protect their right, protect their interest. But how you go control that way the president they control the legislative branch, the parliament. So the judges then they are the mercy of the president. So sometimes they, like me now, I'm a very big critic of the judicial system. And they criticize the magistrate, criticize the judges, but the truth is this. It's difficult for them. They get plenty judges, plenty magistrates them. We want for serve we country. We respect we constitution. We want for do the right thing. But how them go do the right thing? We then right for let them go serve as a judge, as a magistrate, as a Supreme Court judge is not protected. We not get parliament where they protect them. Then they are the mercy of the president. How you go deny that one day? The third one, the most powerful one, where the most outrageous. Now the fact then say the security, where the judges then depend on, the security where the magistrate then depend on, the security where the Supreme Court judges them then depend on. Now the president under the Ministry of Interior Ministry, they provide them. Now you tell me something. If you're a judge, you're in a court, you decide on a case. The president don't send signal to you say he's interested in that case day. One, he get power for fire you because you don't get opposition for protect you, you don't get parliament for protect you. Two, you get the power for determine you can't vehicle or they can't bring benefits the way you get. The driver where they drive you, now government they provide them. The security way, the bodyguard where they guide you, now government they provide them. Where you do not court, the security way they guide your family, your wife and picking them, now government they provide them. And that president ain't get that power there for determine that. Now you the judge, you go mess up with that president today. Under normal circumstances, let's be fair to them. Becoming a big critic. But when I study the way the situation in Salone, Then I realized the only way for protect them judge them, the only way for protect the judicial system, the only way for protect the entire law enforcement system. Now for change the leadership. March 7, then are the opportunity we'll get for change the leadership. If we not fix that one day, we'll get another corrupt element like the one we'll get right now. Salone will never move forward. So then judges, then they not get power. Because we fail for protect them. We fail for get an opposition where they stand up to the government. We fail for get people in a parliament where get the moral and ethical foundation for defend and stand for and protect the constitution and protect the rights of the judges and the magistrate. So everything is so down to corruption. So much so that the magistrates them, the judges them, all man they pay themselves. Because the boss the way for check them, then corrupt past the magistrate and judges them. Now, let's come to the police force. The police, then they under the Interior Ministry. The defense, they under the Defense Ministry. The police, where they under the Interior Ministry, let's see how they're stupid with the way they write to Constitution. Then get something and call a police board, where they make recommendation to the president as to whether for be Inspector General of Police, whether for be appointed as Deputy Inspector General of Police, whether for be Inspector of this and that, then high top position on the police. You know that the chairman of that committee there, and the vice president. What's kind of stupid thing now one day? Now you tell me something. Which vice president go recommend somebody for go be Inspector General of Police when they protect their own party, when they protect your own interest? You see how they mix up the entire situation, but not blame them. Now the people that will write to Constitution. They write them because people that will be there at that board there for write to Constitution. Them meaning a government. Them meaning a government. Them mean the hope say after Momo, then go take over from Momo. So then go in at the executive branch. You see the logic? So that I make them create them loopholes in our Constitution. So that the way they take over at the executive branch, they go able for exercise them powers here. They're not doing for posterity. They're not doing say, Lord, do them for the next generation. They write the Constitution, then put loopholes in the Constitution, so that when they reach that top day, they get way for control the police, they get way for control the judiciary, they get way for control the legislative branch. Now them for blame for the kind mess we face on today. So we need a government where get a clean heart. People in a government. We need people that will get comrade heart now with government. March 7. Now the defining moments that one day for each and every one Sierra Leoneans. If you lack Salone, whether you're in APC or SLPP or any party where you belong to, this is not the moment for let you vote in the interest of Salone. And if you vote in the interest of Salone, there is only one option we get. Dr. Kande Yumukela. There is no second. There is no alternative to him. Alhaji Dr. Kande Yumukela is our only option. We have to save Sierra Leone from the mess that we have so today. So we're able to find a way for fix the crisis that we talk about so. So because of that, the police then they're under the control of the vice president. And the vice president, they're under the control of the president. Police then and they go catch people in a street, lock them up, prosecute them, carry them go to court, for go prosecute them. They get the attorney general, we not to the government in the serve, and the president in the serve. You see another breakdown? Attorney General, Minister of Justice, Salone. Salone mess up, oh. La ilaha illallah Sayyidina Muhammad Rasulullah. If people understand how messed up that country they be, believe me, man, no need for advise you for let you wake up, you stand up, you do any kind of thing what you need for do, for fix them, so that you picking and remember you tomorrow. The history we need for set March 7. If we do the right thing, we make the right choice. Wallahi billahi, you grand picking and go pray God for you, even if you go to the grave. You go make history. History you go make and that day, March 7, 2018. Do you allow we make sure say we mommy them, we papa them, we youth them, especially the youth, because they on the way they above 60. Now go then they go so. Then go left the country give we. We were there above 50, we say now we they follow them. We go left the country give una. Una the youth. Now una your moment this March 7, 2018. Now una your define the moment this one I go set history. Una take charge of your own future. March 7. If una vote for Dr. Kande Yomukela. And the best gift una go don't give to una self. The best gift now una go don't give to una self. You need people in a government to understand the system, yeah. So let's tell you treating them where the police and they do way bad off. Where they breach the constitutional right of people them. One, when they arrest you, with constitution say you get the right for let the police tell you exactly what he arrest you for. And you get the right for let it tell you in any kind of language you're able to understand. If you want to talk Creole, now you understand, the police need to explain to you now one day. If you don't understand Creole at all, you're not timid, they talk. By law, according to the constitution, the police need to go find somebody where they interpret for tell you within 24 hours why they arrest you. It didn't start with constitution enshrine and you right. The second right where the constitution enshrine, the police not get the right for torture you. The car police then they slap us so pow, then kick and pow. The car then do me. Then get one guy where they call Bangura, Musa Bangura, na Central Police. He call himself the bloody terror. Now so he talk. Where the APC send and for go arrest me. I see bump me so he slap me first. Then one in soldier man, policeman, they kick me in my waist. Now I turn to her and I say, they breach me constitutional right. I can sue you for that. Now I realize they talk to somebody who know you right. But who say, he wait for who come on and do. As you go inside the police station, now give me another slap back. Pow, pow. Na corner. The bloody terror, Musa Bangura. And with constitution say, no police not get right for torture anybody. It didn't start with constitution, a protected right. The third one was very crucial. The constitution say anybody where they arrest for any crime within 72 hours, the police don't get a reason for charging a court so that they go hand you over to the judicial system or then free you. If you spend more than 72 hours in a police station, now your constitutional right then don't breach. When me in the Central Police Station, I see bobo them as young as 15, 16, 17, 18. We don't spend 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 15 days. Now Central Police Station and not charge them go court. Under APC government. Now I'll let you ask yourself one question. Imagine that you Pekin. You Pekin. Police don't arrest. You not tell her what you arrest them for. You go lock her up in a cell. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, they don't charge them. You go vote for that kind of government today. You, with your own conscience, because you say you're not APC blood, you go vote for that kind of government today. No, let's just forget about politics. Think about the humanity aspect. If you get soul, if you get human soul, if you're in a person where they pray, you understand God. You go vote for a political party where they arrest with youth, them fiti fata, you lock them up without any reason. Then we Okada boys, they not train them, they not give them provide school for them, they not support them, they not provide job for them. When they ride Okada, when police had up, he grab, he stop Okada, he get reason, he sees him motorcar, he go lock her up, pay 200,000. If you not pay, I charge you go court or lock you up for 3 days. Nobody not there for complaint to. If now your own brother then do so, you go vote for that kind of party day. Now let tell you another thing where they go wrong. When they charge somebody, go court. When they charge somebody, go court. Your constitution say it is your right for the magistrate or the judge for grant you bail, except in a situation or in a charge of treason or murder. Like if you don't kill somebody, then it go difficult for them to give you bail because they're not going to let you go kill more people. For protect life, they can deny you bail. If you're not treason, like you want to go overthrow government, they arrest you, you don't get rights to bail. But outside them two things and they, every other crime, the magistrate get the discretion for examining the matter, and you first right now for grant you bail, not to second. But what thing they happen now with court? The right to be granted bail is sold to the highest bidder. What thing they mean? The first thing what they do now for deny you bail immediately. Why? They want for put pressure on you and your family for can bribe the magistrate before it grants you bail, which is a breach to your constitution. At the talk not to then say, I have been in Central Police Station, spoken to people that were not detained. I have been in Pademba Road, then locked me up for 37 gruesome days. I deal with hardcore criminals them. I interview them on a daily basis. I've been they write a dossier on that. Now then send message to the prison officers. When I not allow that man to forget paper and pen. They seize all me paper and pen. But I memorize a lot of interviews they will do. Innocent people them inside Pademba Road. You know, now we normally be say this time if I delve into the life where people youth and they live inside Pademba Road, I swear to me living God, if you hear the word APC, you go and vomit. The way youth then they suffer inside Pademba Road. The kind of torture, the kind of abuse where they happen with judicial system, when they take it. Let's give you an example. Let's just simple example. Somebody na Kisi end. A day na this pine house, they rent, it don't do it for how many years? The pan ex-policeman, so you get connection with the police the way they charge people and go court. But this buyer, anytime you want increase rent, he bank notice. He say, okay, you're gonna get out of my house. Because the government not the way they provide housing. Another thing that we need for touch on about housing. The government not the way they provide housing support for people that they do now all our country them. Like America and also or other. Let's forget about America because when I talk about America, some man go fit to say, now because you don't live abroad. Let's go to Nigeria and Ghana. Let's go to Angola. When an African country them. Every year them budget they get money when they allocate for housing for the poor. Salone are the only country where they get housing system for the poor. So when the power add up, when increase rent, they give the man a notice. So then therefore they go bigger and go bigger and go bigger and add pan the rent again. So the guy say he don't do pan this now. Every year now the same thing the party do. So this year, I see the party get notice now himself go lucky they go get place. I see go get place by the time they reach. Now I go meet the party taking key, he give me paying rent to the pay and I move. Hey, the pardon vex. You cannot let the guy go. He been able for that money day. Now he grab, he go put na police. He said the guy curse him because he get a notice. Pam, police go to arrest the guy. This is not civil matter. Not a criminal offense. Criminal offense, now police need for involved. Civil matter, you go to court, you go look for a lawyer and file for you. Or you go outside and go file your own case for yourself. But you go meet police. Well, past some time the police want charge for assault, when they call verbal assault. If you say the man curse him, okay, we go talk say in that aspect the police can come in because assault can be some aspect of criminal offense. Now, he take the man in charge and go court. The man say, hey, but this man not cost her one day, not cost her this and that. He give me notice, I get him money and grab, I don't move on. Now the vexation, he grab, so he can't bring me in a court. The man is straight say no bail. Bam. The man go meet me in a Pademba Road. The man they cry so they talk. He say me I get wife and picking them. I say I get 3 girl picking them. 3 girl picking. He said they work for an NGO. He said me a driver for NGO. I get an office where they work for. The office, I think the NGO, the office, then one of them hotel in Aberdeen. He said then they pay me $100 every month. He said on top of that, and they get the mass. Any will go upline. Why they take people them? Will they travel go upline? They give me daily allowance. And that living allowance that they live on. Now they not can lock me up now. And till next week, not only job at the law so inside Salone, magistrate deny bail just because somebody go like say the person not move now in row. He get rent, he get notice, she move. Now you tell me something. Them protections they all know they. You go vote for that kind of government today. If now you bother then do so. The guy they cry like Pekin inside Pademba Road. As you don't the word that they sorry for and so I don't get nothing for do for help him. If you not know how the country mess up, my brother and sister them. I straight to me live in God. I don't care whether APC blood they run inside your body. I don't care whether SLPP green they run inside your vein. For your country in your sake, for the future. You will make sure say we vote in a righteous government led by Dr. Kande Yomkela. Dear, Lord will not make this kind of mistake again. March 7. Dear, and the best opportunity this will get for let you able to do that. Thank you. Thank you. So if you want to talk about how messed up our judicial system is, how the legal enforcement system messed up, that is it. That's how it's messed up. Because there is no barrier. Then theoretically, they say we get 3 branches of government. But then in theory, in practical, we'll not get 3 branches of government. We get one dictator where they control all the 3 branches. And the reason how they control and how to explain so. Then they break the basic fundamental constitutional right of people on a daily basis. If you go court, you not get money, whether you get right or not, now you go jail. You go court, you not get political connection, whether you get right or not, now you go jail. So the one that we get political connection, we get money, now no money, they go jail. If you go now prison, the foreigner percentage now with prison is less than 10%. Because when you're a foreigner, you are protected. I don't know what now this craziness where Salone police then gets complex over foreigners. They prefer for arrest and prosecute your own brother. But if you're not a foreigner, you don't go to jail. Some kind of slavish mentality. Until we get a system where they change that slavish mentality, our nation will never move forward. March 7 is our biggest opportunity for transforming the country. Again, my name is Jesmed Suma, the Executive Director of the Jesmed Suma Political Action Committee, a policy think tank where they work towards fixing the politics of our nation by determining the type of leadership we need so that we will get the type of people and the right people in our parliament, the right people in our pressure group. This is why I will not go joke with them. We will focus on the issues them. This trip will identify Dr. Kande Yomkela as the right leader for the next election where they come. The right leader of our republic. If we miss Dr. Kande Yomkela, we have mortgaged the future of our next generation to the criminal enterprises the way they exist in the country right now. The mafia groups that we call themselves political parties. Now they will don't sell the country to. If we lose Dr. Kande Yomkela, God self no go agree, we will not lose him. This is our opportunity. So let me ask of you, if you want to make history, if you want to be part of the history making, this is your moment. Go, find a way, cast your vote for the leadership of Dr. Kande Yomkela so that we go able to move forward and fix the problems of our country. This is your opportunity. so that you picking a grand picking and go remember you tomorrow. Then go happy, say, yes, indeed, we had a mother, we had a father, we had a grandfather, we had an uncle who had their wits around them that are able to secure this future for us by casting the right vote for the right leadership. March 7, 2018, Dr. Kande Yumkela. That's what I'm pleading. That's what the JPAC is asking for us to vote for. Let's cast our vote for Dr. Kande Yumkela. KKY is the only solution we have. Thank you very much. Any more questions? I hope I answered that one. I answered that one. Good. Thank you very much. So we'll find time again for that we go able for perhaps based on popular demand. If we want another interview of this nature, then we will define the topic. We will focus on now one day. We don't touch about IMF. In fact, I want for the timeline. You know what I will do? For go over and we'll look the timeline and the topic they were discussed. Then you send now one day. Between this time to this time, we talked about IMF, World Bank, the difference between them. This time and this time, we talk about the currency. This time and this time, we talk about currency. This time and this time, we talk about judicial system, how to fix it. Yeah. So without much ado, ladies and gentlemen, again, this is Jesmed Suma, the Executive Director of the JPAC, the JF Suma Political Action Committee, where they can fix the leadership problem in our country. This trip now, Dr. Kande Yumkela, now we focus. Now we don't choose as the one way, now the best leader where we get for the 2018 March 7 election. Let's don't forget. Find every way possible for secure a better future for our country by voting for Dr. Kande Yumkela. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.